connecting patterns is a part of intelligence, but speech and interpretation and a whole lot of other things parts of it too, man. But like I said, Game Changer got that fucking shit in the chat, man.
I put 3 films up of what that white man was in.
Psycho and Madman, you ain't shit because you agreeing with him.
No, hold on. I won't agree with him because half of the shit with the IQ test I know nothing about. But what I do know is you turned around and said, "Oh, he said black people from Africa when they come over, they're going to struggle with it. That's why they fail." So I said, if that's the case, why do Asian people come over to America and this part of Western society and ace it? I was only going on that specific situation there.
Because hold on, wait.
If it's a cultural country thing,
no. Again, another big part. Certain countries share curriculum, bro. Asians is pretty much like the standard. I think Asia and what country is like the Netherlands or Sweden or something.
Yeah, you can go teach English in China.
Yeah.
Teach in Africa too, but
China,
But that's why it looked like that wasn't a great argument to give him saying that it's because they're in Africa, because they're in Hong Kong.
No. His argument was to derail the topic. The thing is, it's the same shit the white dudes be talking about over on that side of the space, where they try to organize people by IQ, organize race by IQ, and it doesn't mean anything.
Actually, it actually was an attack on women saying that they like dumb guys, but
it was an attack on niggas.
But yeah, that too, and that was wild because it come from a white guy. But my point, which would always kills them guys when they try that, that's not like, okay, it's good that you're smart or whatever. We can talk about racism and all this lack of school. Or we can talk about adaptability. What's more important, to be smart or being able to adapt to change? Well, that's where you survive. So ultimately, those are the people who continue. It's not about just mating, just living. The ability to adapt, and they really have no scale to judge that other than how you continue to live. No.
Hold on,
and we can make the point that the white.
Hey,
let the white man in the panel check.
Take y'all ass over to
okay. All right, bro. Get out your yard, huh? Okay, all right, bro.
Fantastic.
You gotta go home. You gotta get the hell up out of here, man. Holla at y'all, bro.
All right.
White man in the panel.
What do I say? Charlotte.
All right, welcome to the Game Changer 00100 live show. I'm your host. Or no, this is the regular show. Welcome to the Game Changer 00100 show. I'm your host, Game Changer. All right, I'm gonna just jump into it and say this, and I want to recreate the previous panel, so feel free to jump on. All right, see, we have the general already here.
Put me in this one. Hey, gang, I ain't gonna be up here. Hey, what's up, gang? I ain't gonna be up here that long. Let me say this, man. Okay. Y'all better put that motherfucking work in. I'm telling you right now, you better represent.
No, we're gonna let you do that, General. I hope you can stay.
Man, listen, because that was that was a fucking bunch of bullshit he tried to pull.
Yeah, but hold up.
He tried to. No, I know, whole General nothing. I'm talking.
But there you go, right there, General. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. Hey, brother, listen. Administering an IQ test is different than going to take a partial IQ test online, okay? Do you have any idea of what the ASVAB test is for the United States military? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's that was actually invented by the socialists in 1903.
Right, and then it was reinvented by the Department of Defense in 1948.
Yeah.
The standard ASVAB test is a very baseline of how you get your ST scores, how you get your GT scores, how you get your medical scores, your mechanic scores. So it is not just based on, it's based on a myriad of things. Okay, you have different platforms that they look at to gauge what level of intelligence you have. This is something that I've administered for 7 years. Okay, so when you talk about IQ, you better know a little bit about what you're talking about, because I do. You got 8 different sectors that make up your general score. The one that the military uses is your GT score, your general and technical knowledge score. That gives a baseline from each different areas of how well you did. Math, reading comprehension, English, science, social studies, history.
Yeah,
So when the brother,
I agree. I agree with you.
Stand by. So when the brother was telling you that it is more than just a partial part of your intelligence, okay? I deal with people that on an everyday basis who have very low IQ scores, but they're highly intelligent. Both
No,
black, white, Chinese, male, and female. Okay?
Having someone with an 80 IQ or 70 IQ, they're not intelligent. That's a dumb statement.
Stop, freeze.
That's a dumb statement.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so let me tell you what happened.
I can't believe you even made that on the internet.
Stop, man. Just stop.
What, man?
So let me tell you what happened. When the United States education system decided to include these SATs and these various scores, it was simply a way to keep certain people out of certain institutions.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
As it is today.
No, it wasn't.
As it is today. Okay, so here I'll give you a very simple motherfucking test. All right?
I'm not taking your stupid fucking bullshit.
I know you won't.
You just said on the internet that stupid people were smart, you idiot.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, you did. You said people with low IQs were highly intelligent. People with low IQs were highly intelligent. Please tell me how that statement makes any fucking sense.
Okay.
You have to be able to apply.
General, I'll answer his question. The only way that statement can make sense is if the IQ test is an inaccurate measurement of intelligence. Are you saying that IQ is a completely accurate measurement of intelligence?
IQ is general.
Okay, so that statement can't possibly be true.
It's general intelligence.
You're here to push the narrative.
Once again, you didn't answer the question. So I'll say it for you.
Yeah, ask it again.
Do you think that I will for you?
Thank
do you think that IQ is a completely accurate measure? IQ tests are a completely accurate measurement of intelligence?
No.
Okay, so by that logic, then his statement can be true. How? Because he's saying that if tests are inaccurate, then a person who scores poorly on that test can still be intelligent. That's what he's saying. So your statement that that was an unintelligent statement that that the general made is unintelligent. But let me read some super chats right quick.
It wasn't an unintelligent statement.
Raheem Benjamin says, peace. I appreciate you, brother. Prophet of Thought, good to see you here, brother X. It says, peace, brother GameChanger. Shout out. Appreciate you, brother. Keep them coming. All right. So, did you have anything?
What's that? What's that? I'm sorry.
Were you basically trying to make a statement? I know what GameChanger said, but was your overall statement saying that women, in your opinion, are attracted to dumb guys?
No, I didn't say that. He said that it's easier for people with triple-digit IQs to get chicks, and I actually came in to agree with GameChanger. That was the reason why I jumped back in on the other chat.
Oh, okay, so you're saying smart men don't have issues with women?
It's easier for smart men to do everything. Let's just face it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. It's not like
smart men get money and women go for the finances.
But hold up. What about his point about the Asian immigrants who come here with these huge IQ scores, but they can't get women?
Yeah, but how do we know that for sure? Because they can get their women.
Okay, and what would define their women?
They're Asian chicks, dude. Asian people travel in packs with all their cigarettes.
Okay. Well, I disagree with you on that because they marry out more than any other race.
Asian men. Country.
Huh?
Asian men or Asian women.
Yeah, Asian women marry out more than any other race of people.
Really?
They hate their men.
Well, first, let's define which kinds of Asians. Are you talking about the very smartest Asians, or are you talking about
I'm saying Asian. I'm not saying I haven't defined it down there. Somebody's making noise. Somebody's moving furniture.
Somebody's doing something.
I'm gonna mute you for a second, brother.
Yeah, but there are different types of Asians. First of all, and there are Asians that are different. That are way smarter than.
No, hold up. Before you go there, let's just accept that they marry out at a higher rate, because I'm not here to go all into
specifics and cutting it down to prove a point. Yeah. Just leave it at now. I'm glad you're here. You are a white guy, but I will say, you have to be careful with some of your comments, man, because that's offensive when you make statements that blacks are dumber than other races. Now that might be
it's not the offense, it's the incorrectness that makes it offensive.
Well, yeah, and then it's not even right. Hold on, then it's not even right.
Panel and said white people are smarter than us. What the fuck?
Yeah, so, it was meant to be offensive, but you know what? People,
explain why. Help me out. Explain why.
When y'all being trolled, people don't need.
Yeah, he is trolling hard as fuck.
Yeah, why do you listen to his explanation? No,
bro. As soon as I started going over how IQ tests work, you immediately got triggered and jumped in on some bullshit.
I called your shit out.
No. You weren't calling my shit out. You didn't even let me finish my shit.
You are wrong.
You didn't even let me finish my shit. Well, how am I wrong if you don't even know what I was gonna say?
Go ahead, finish it. Say everything you want.
I was talking about what parts of the test you were talking about. Like the visual calculus shit you explained is just one area of the test. There are all areas of the test. There's language areas, there's basic fucking arithmetic areas of the test. There's pattern recognition.
Trying to explain to him.
There's a bunch of different areas of IQ tests. Now, if the IQ test you talked about, like when you said not all of them, like you said, Mensa was like specialized. Yes, it is specialized, but IQ tests in general have different parts of the test which measure different parts of your intelligence, fluid intelligence, rote memorization, and all the rest of it. That's just how they fucking are structured. You jumped in immediately and tried to say they weren't structured like that. That's bullshit.
I didn't say that.
I was explaining the structure of the test.
What you were saying about the test was wrong, and how most of the test is based in language, and that's why black people
I did not say most. See, that's what I'm saying. You have a fucking listening disorder there. I did not say most.
But let's do this. Commercial break right quick. Melody, I appreciate the super sticker, love. I appreciate you a lot. The 1999 super sticker. And let's go to the next one. Sticklid said, "Wow, game changer versus white people. My money is on GC. I appreciate you. Sticklid. All right.
I don't understand why it's versus. I don't like literally. I came in here for a discussion. It's not meant to be.
No, you didn't.
And hold up, and you're welcome, bro.
No, you're
welcome, but you have to be careful with certain particular topics.
Platinum, you got to understand trolling, brother. I mean, you're new to the game.
Why do you think it's a troll? I still don't understand that.
Because it's extraordinarily off topic, but it pushes a narrative that you already have pre-researched. So see, the fact that you research such things to prepare for conversations like that means that you're eager to have them.
No. I wouldn't call him a troll. What he is a provocateur. Let's call it what it is. He's provoking.
Look at his hamster spin.
That's what trolling is, Madman.
No, it's not.
Look at the hamster wheel spinning.
So the fact that you sit around with information like this, waiting for the words IQ to be said so you can, instill this in front of a bunch of black people, really says something about your character. It means that you're trolling. However,
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
What trolling means. Okay.
Okay, well let's go forward, man, because he was talking about the discussion. Well, because like women, I think that you do well. I agree with him.
One last thing, Platinum. And then we'll after you, we'll give MOT a chance to speak. But Sister George, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, love.
I agree with him. With the panel that smart men. Now, this is my statement. Should have their pick of the litter. Should know the psychological battles they have to deal with. To get these women to submit. But that's not happening, okay? And it's not happening not just with black men. It's not happening with white men, and it's certainly not happening with Asian men. So at that point, if you are, quote unquote, smart, you should see that you have to take a different strategy, at the women. And I don't understand why they haven't decided to do that. That's why I'm losing. That blows my mind.
Well, let me say something to the white man. Why I do not believe white people are smarter than black people and vice versa. I would have understood you saying that if black people had the same fair shot at education in all across the board equally, and then the stats shown that
you have a better shot.
We have a better shot, really?
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, bro.
What do you
Now
think
you've been
affirmative action is? What do you think affirmative action is?
That's what we're
Affirmative
talking about
action
now.
affirmative action basically just gives a black person a position. It
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't. It
No,
discriminates
it doesn't.
against Asians and
No,
gives
no.
you the spot over them.
It-
Why do you think Harvard's being sued right now? You don't know what you're talking about.
This is Tommy fan.
No, hold on. Listen, affirmative action is, listen, we need to put black people in here. We're not, let's put the smartest black person.
No.
We just need to get somebody to fill the quota.
Put the dumbest people in the fucking top positions because they can't make it on their fucking
Okay.
own merit.
Okay, hold up. Now hold up. Let me.
This conversation is getting stupid now.
Yeah, hold up. No, I'll
It's
go.
getting
Hold up.
stupid.
Hold up. I'll help my way. Now, you're against affirmative action?
Yeah, I'm
Okay, now you know women. You know who benefits from affirmative action more than any other group?
black people and Native
No,
Americans.
they don't. White women.
No, they
Hey,
don't. That's
yes, they do.
completely false.
Yes, it is.
completely false.
There are
If
females.
affirmative action went away, did you know that black
Well, wait a
college
minute. Now
enrollment
you want to
would
be fact.
completely
See, look.
go down?
I don't.
So
I don't
affirmative action makes education equal
hold
to you.
up. I got
No,
this.
it doesn't.
I
Right,
got
then
this,
why
Knight.
then why did you
Wait a
question
minute.
what I said in the
Wait a-
first place?
Let me do this. This is right up. If he wants to go there, we can go there. Now, white women benefit more than any other group because they're a part of affirmative action. They're minorities.
What's
Now,
your source of that?
hold on, wait a minute. Go look it up. They're a part.
No. You have to quote your source. I came in here with mine, and I did my homework.
You come in here with sources. Now, hold on.
Apparently, this guy doesn't
Yeah.
know about feminism.
Listen.
Only white shit.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, hold
Wait
on.
a
'Cause
minute, bro. Wait a minute, 'cause no, wait a minute.
He didn't actually
You're
address my
playing
question.
into him. You're playing into his.
I want him to address my
argument.
question.
I don't. You
Okay,
getting emotional? Hold up. I got you,
Getting
bro. Let me-
emotional. I'm asking a question.
You're trying to defend. No, all right. Okay. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So, Doug, I appreciate the $5. I appreciate you, brother. DJ Nav says, appreciate the $2.99. Says, can we get the white woman is God though? Oh, can we agree that the white woman is God though? Yeah. That's up to you, brother. Let's see. And I think. Wait, I have one more. Hold on, one moment. This one is from BLS Holdings. Affirmative action does not work for black men. Okay, that's it.
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's my point. If I could make my point, I can show him that black men don't
Step away for a second. MOT, take over.
He deflected from my question, though. I said to him, black people haven't had the same level as
He doesn't
education
care,
equally
bro.
as white people.
Let
You
him-
then turned
let him
around
make
and
his
said, "Oh,
point.
bro,
Platinum
let me
right,
just
he
let
don't
it
care.
out." The white man turned around and said to me, "Well, yes, we do because we have affirmative action." What the fuck is affirmative action? Yeah, which places a black person in a position to give them an opportunity, give them the equal level playing of education. How the hell did you correlate those two together?
Hello.
Wait.
I'm talking to the white man.
Hold on.
How did
That's
you
only
equate
one.
the two together?
Wait, hold on. Like, being black is just one level of minority. Being a woman and black is another level of minority. It's just like being black, woman, and LGBT. Now that's 3 levels of minority. So what it does, it puts you in position, but not the position that you think it is over the other people who could be in the same position. This is how women got the benefit. Because they need a certain level of women on the job.
I want to clarify something. All right, so I'll say this because I did a study on this in college. Number one, affirmative action does mainly help white women. And number two, the only reason, and this is something you got to understand, I think the dirt guy is kind of like obtuse or something. The fact of the matter is this. When it comes to the reason of college is this. We pay taxes. You pay taxes as an American citizen. The whole point of affirmative action is the people that pay taxes get to go to the college in their state. Hence why when you come from out of state, you pay more. You pay 3 times as much because you're not from the state. Now, to clarify something else with you as well as this. Affirmative action, and I'll give you a prime example. Washington State. They got rid of affirmative action back in 1992. You know something funny? They brought it back this year. You don't know why? Washington State's
socialist paradise.
Washington State's black population is 0.4%, right? Around there, 4.1%. The people go to UW, the amount of people go to UW are literally 35% Asian American, 30% more foreign Chinese, right? The white population at University of Washington went down to 33% at University of Washington. after they got rid of affirmative action. They're restating it back to get back University of Washington for their white kids that are stupid and can't get in, so they can go to University of Washington, because it makes sure the people in the state that pay taxes get preferential treatment in the state to go there. So if your state is 80% white, 80% University of Washington needs to be white. If your state is University of Alabama, 90% white, 90%
Quotas
people
are illegal.
That's what's happening.
Well, another thing they do.
Stands.
White women are the greatest.
Why are we going? We're going way off topic here. This is
I know,
about
but
IQ.
we're making this point. We're trying to show them affirmative action. Affirmative action doesn't even help black men, but because they don't go to college.
It was a deflection. It's got nothing to do.
Oh no, but he believes it. I know he's.
Wait, hold on.
I like that he's.
Hold on.
In Washington State, to let you know, it does help white women and white males, because now they brought it back in Washington State to get white American students like you back in UW, because your intellectual prowess wasn't up to par when it was just test scores. Same as Cal, Berkeley, same as UCLA. Hence why they got rid of SATs, to guess what? To get more white people like you into UCLA, Cal, Berkeley, etc.
I don't think white people are having any trouble at all getting into college. And in fact, I just went to study. I just went to study in the private chat. I just linked to study.
This has gone flipping left.
I just put it in. Okay. Here's what it says.
What does it say? Give it to me.
Princeton
University. Ending affirmative action would devastate most minority college enrollment. Boom. Sorry, guys.
I have a study with some actual math in it provided by Atticus Now that you should probably check out.
Why are we deflecting?
Posted it in there. It has actual math in it. It has math in it, and then you can read the math because it has math in it.
Great source. Media.
It has math in it.
Smarter than the other if one has had a better opportunity than the other. But how does that make any sense?
Overrides the source, the math. The math overrides the source. Like if you read it, it has math.
IQ is a largely pseudoscientific swindle.
Did you know that it has math in it?
Hold up.
If you read it, there's math in it. Like if you go further, you can read the math.
What college? You're never going to believe that.
Did you know that math is actually right?
Dirt, what college did you graduate from?
Because there's math in it.
Oh, bro, what the fuck are these conferences?
What college did you graduate from?
Like if you read it, there's math in the study. Like if you read the study, there's math.
Wait a minute. He went.
You know what math is?
When he went to Penn State.
Yeah, I do know Penn State.
Yeah, you should read math though, because there's math in that study.
Wait a minute. He quoted Princeton.
I
did know how hard it is to get into Princeton.
He went to Penn State. He's not very bright. That's our average.
I'm saying he's back to the topic. Are we gonna get back to the topic yet?
This is the whole
semantics.
Where did you guys go?
Because I'm tired of all this shit.
I didn't go to no.
People got their opinions on it, but if you read math,
a degenerate conversation right now, isn't it?
No, I'm just saying, like the stuff he's putting up has a lot of like opinion and conjecture. But if you read the other one, there's math in it. But if you read it, there's math.
Yeah, and the whole
math is really objective. Did you know that math is objective?
No scientific study. It quotes
Did you know that
right
math is objective? Did you read past the title?
This is a joke.
Did you know that there was math
I'm looking at the
past
graphs
title?
right now, dude. I'm looking at the
No. You're looking at the graphs, but you're not reading the math.
Too much, man. Okay, listen to me. Don't worry about the math.
Do you want me to talk to you, or do you want me to read the study?
Is it too much math?
This guy reads Breitbart and thinks he's smart because he does half truths. Look at him. He can't throw a ball. Right? This is the guy you're dealing with. The guys that can't throw balls. He can't throw a football.
Breitbart?
He's trolling, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm trolling with him. All I'm saying is this guy read the math.
Who do most white women marry? Most white women marry white men, right?
How do you count things?
Which means actually white men benefit from affirmative action, because if the white women benefit from it by going to college, they married a white man, right? When they do, like you say, like when you guys are the white guys who complain about government set-asides, man, and minority contracts. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
I didn't
Guess who gets those?
Wait, some contracts have math in it.
They go to his wife.
Deflection after deflection.
He put his business in his wife's name, and they get minority contracts.
Brandon, that's all opinionated stuff, bro. Like, let's just stick to what we know. Let's stick to what we know. The man said white people are smarter than black people. I said to him, how can that be possible that we're smarter?
On average, wow.
Yeah.
How about
if black people,
look at Africa, no. Why don't we look at
Africa's
Japan?
been
Why don't we compare Japan to Africa? Why don't we compare any civilized place to Africa? Africa is a joke compared to the rest of the world.
Well, because Africa's been ravaged by the rest of the world.
A black child in a mud hut versus a white child born from a Bill Gates family. Are you going to seriously compare the two?
Before white people showed up, you guys didn't even have a defined language.
A black child born in a mud hut versus a white child born from the Bill Gates family. 10 years, 15 years on, who do you think is going to be smarter?
Someone put him in that mud hut.
Who's obviously going to be smarter? Who's going to be more?
The British, everybody's taking advantage of Africa.
It's the position and culture
for their minerals. They robbed them for their minerals. The racism. Right now, the Chinese are all over Africa.
White man, apply some common sense to your fault.
I just want to say this. Why are you all playing this? Don't play this game. He keeps saying white people, they're not a monolith. If you go to Europe, where I'm from, the Europeans, they're Italian, French, Swiss. They don't count Mongols like him as white. They laugh. He's not Swiss. He's not French. He's a mongrel that Hitler would have gassed.
So your problem was this, bro. You're a Tommy fan. Wait a minute. I've heard Tommy. Look, you're a Tommy fan. You stepped into the wrong panel. We're not idiots here. We're not going to listen to you and just because you're white. Oh, well, he must be right. You're going to be challenged.
No, I still
every
want my
argument
question
you made
answered.
has been defeated.
How can he say whites are smarter than blacks when you can put
I can get into
in a deprived position?
What Hitler said. Wait a minute,
you put us in an equal position, then state it. But
we can talk about.
We've never been in an equal position.
We can talk about what Hitler said about American whites.
Let him finish his statement right quick because he's trying to get a statement in. Let him finish.
Well,
go ahead, Dirty.
So someone made.
How did we get here? I mean, I look at the title. It's
come
like,
on. Let me.
I'm still waiting for the white man to answer my question.
Okay, so he talked about Bill Gates' house in a mud hut. Okay, so here's how we know that intelligence is mostly biological and not. Please let me finish. You guys couldn't run a fucking lemonade stand.
Come on.
You couldn't run a lemonade stand.
She's not white, so go on and give me a white person. A mongrel. I want one. Not Bill Gates. He's Jewish. Give me a white one.
Bill Gates is not Jewish.
Wait, man.
Oh my God! This is the biggest deflection.
Let him finish his question or
statement. Let him finish his statement, dog.
Okay, here's how we know.
Sir. I can't see names because of the super chat on the screen.
Cool.
But whoever was making a statement last, continue your statement.
All right, listen. Okay, so here's what happens with IQ biologically versus environmentally. This is how we know that it's mostly biological and not environmental. We know this because IQ, identical twins that are separated at birth, that come in two different socioeconomic backgrounds, have the same IQ compared to fraternal twins raised in the same household. That's how we know that IQ is mostly biological.
That's how we know that?
Yes, sir. It's been
okay. Well, watch how easy this is.
I'm gonna get this guy. Oh, keep going.
Watch how easy it is to defeat what he just said. I disagree.
No, I mean, like, were you done? Wait, hold on. Were you done with your statement, or did you get cut off?
No, I got everything out. I just said that.
Okay, let me go for it then. Young black child in a mud hut from the age of 0 to 15 years versus Bill Gates' white son from the age of 0 to 15 years in America versus in Africa. Put those two children on a desk now with a piece of paper. Who do you think is going to ace that test more? The white child or the black child?
Simple
question. Who's going to ace it more?
Saying that college can raise your IQ is like
you
can raise your height.
Nobody said that.
Answer the question. 15 years.
You don't understand.
An IQ test has nothing to do.
You guys have not
answered the question.
An IQ test has nothing to do with the fucking environment.
Answer the question.
Sir. Restate your question so he can answer it.
Okay.
His question didn't make any sense.
No, it's not. No.
Okay. So we're gonna get some reclarifications here.
I just sort of agree with him on that.
Black African child.
Okay. Reclarify your question.
Black African child from the age of 0 to 15 living in a mud hut. A white child born from, say, the Bill Gates family, right? from 0 to 15. Put those two children on the desk now with a pen and paper and give them a test. Who is more likely?
What kind of test? What
No,
kind of test?
no. It's
What kind of test?
Oh, you want to go into the semantics? Okay.
What kind of test?
Awesome.
An IQ test?
A math test. It could be an English test. Yeah.
An
Who do you
IQ
think's
test.
going to have a
No,
better
an
chance of
IQ
passing?
test? No, that's
No. You
what
asked for
you're saying is dumb. What
a
you're
test.
saying is stupid.
No, it's not.
Education doesn't raise your IQ, dummy.
All right,
You
let
don't
me.
get it. What?
Okay.
All
Guys,
right, so
stupid.
let's do this.
Okay. Platinum.
Okay, right quick. Let me
Okay, go change
Go.
your Okay. All right.
let me pay the bills right quick.
Why are Nigerians the highest educated?
Brittany,
They were colonized by whites, and they have a lot of European ancestry in them.
It's
why-
very
what?
disingenuous to try and make out like culture doesn't affect people's education.
Yes,
It's very disingenuous.
Why?
Biological
Upbringing,
factors.
area, culture.
Wait,
Education has
wait,
nothing to do with
wait.
IQ.
So you're saying you cannot be smart unless you have
let's
some
do
type
this.
of whiteness in your DNA.
All right.
Keep
Everybody,
intelligent.
everybody, let's go here. Okay. Jessica X sent the $4.99 pound super chat. Ask him if white people are smarter than when all things made equal. Why are the lowest achievers in school whites and black African boys are the highest?
Ask him if white people are smarter. Sorry, I just sent in a different article. Lowest achievers in white school in white and black African boys. Well, African boys come over from Africa. Okay,
That's why we thought that. Yes.
Yeah, and guess what? They have a work ethic that absolutely destroys whites.
And they come from Mud Hut, they beat you. And they come from Mud Hut, and they beat you.
Sounds like environmental, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Africa.
Can I just ask them some
outwork
questions,
everybody.
please?
The Africans.
Like,
that
I'm
come
not
over
even
from
trolling
Africa
anymore. Can I just ask them some questions?
I mean, like you said, it does sound like it's cultural and environmental, not genetic.
Oh, game changer. Game changer. Like, can I be like the personal example of what he's trying to talk about on the panel?
Go for it.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to say what my IQ is. However, I was born in an environment that did not value education, especially not from black boys. I didn't know until later on that I should have been somewhere else the entire time. So it wasn't IQ that was the problem. It was the environment that controlled how much I can be able to learn in the environment.
This white man tricked himself up if you paid attention to
I
what
agree
he
with
said.
you.
Can I ask him some questions?
I'm not saying the environment doesn't play a role, but I'm just saying it doesn't play the most role.
Okay,
White man, you said it was because they were strict.
Yo, madman, can I ask you a
what is
question?
strict
I'm not even
for?
trolling, bro.
Do ask me. I want to ask.
You said
Like,
it was strict.
I can put this in perspective real easy.
Ask me
All right, so
Strict is a cultural thing, idiot.
as far as like intelligence is concerned, what are the primary factors that contribute to intelligence? You're saying it's biological, so you're on some Darwinism shit, but in reality,
What's wrong with Darwin?
because we have genetics and because we have medical science and because we can actually map the DNA, what are the biggest contributors to intelligence?
Well,
that you can think of? You can just put it in your own words.
It's probably a lot of people say 60 to 80%. It's heritability, and then the other 20 could be environment, culture. Throw that in. Culture's the biggest thing that we can focus on. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not in here trying to say, okay, black people are dumb. Like, let's just end the fucking conversation. Like, you don't like people don't get it. Like this is a personal thing for me because
okay, let's not go off topic. I'm just
I know. Let me finish. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying what we should focus on is the culture. I agree with the purple tea guy about that. Like that's what we should focus on. But just saying,
understood. I'm going for specificity right now.
Biological difference.
I'm going for specificity on intelligence. So here's the thing: there are no genetic markers for biological inheritance of intelligence. None of them. The reason why is because according to science, right now we only have two real psychological markers, and that's crystallized intelligence, which is what you accumulate through life, which is what you learn but through school and education. And then there's what I mentioned before, fluid intelligence, which is how you think. None of those are biological. None of those are biological. There's also no biological markers for those in DNA. So to say that intelligence is inherited has been debunked for the last 15 years. I don't know when you put, like, I get it. You're pulling your studies and shit like that, but you got to keep up on the science. For the last 15 years, we understand and we know that there is no DNA markers, no biological markers for intelligence, none. So intelligence is not inherited. And again, as far as like if we're going to go outside of that, there's crystallized intelligence, which again is what you learn, and fluid intelligence, which is how you think. All of those are fostered by how you are raised. Those are fostered by how you are raised.
Definitely not.
No.
You just said the Africans are doing better because they were strict.
Fluid is
You're
how you
talking
think.
now.
Fluid is how you think. So let's just say you were raised in an environment where you're not fostered to think in a creative way. Let's just say someone can play the piano.
Creativity is biological too.
Creativity is somewhat biological, but again, so going by example, let's just say
intelligence not.
Let's just say you have a couple people that can play piano, right? So one person has the fluid intelligence to pick up a piano, basically learn by ear, and the other person, he can learn the piano, but he kind of has to be taught by somebody. But once he's taught by somebody, he can just pick up and innovate from there. Now, based on those two people, you got one person who can learn without even being taught, and the other person who can also learn but has to be taught. Now they end up having the same level of musical ability as far as like the ability to songwrite, the ability to create melodies and shit. None of that changes. It's just how they were taught to think about doing it. So you understand? This isn't.
Maybe I don't understand something about the piano thing. So you're telling me there are some people that they've never seen a piano before and they can walk up and they know exactly how to play it. They can play any song. Is it?
They play by ear. Yeah. Some people recognize musical notes.
So they'll know exactly which things to play, but just by.
Yes. Okay. So there was a guy named Prince.
Practicing at all.
Yes, there was a guy named Prince who could play every instrument by ear. There's a guy named Kanye West who can do the same thing. Wasn't taught how to play instruments. He was just given an instrument and he learned by ear.
Himself. Teaching yourself is not just knowing how to play the instrument as soon as it's handed to you at 4 years old. Exactly everything. Do you think he can go out and play Beethoven?
That's not what I'm saying, and
that's not what he meant.
You're jumping off the bridge.
I'm really trying to understand you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to straw man you. I'm really not.
Okay.
I got what he meant. I learned how to play the piano off air. Nobody taught me. I can play. So that means I had to sit there for a while, press a load of keys, and I started to understand the notes.
So I'm talking about training versus not being trained. Someone who can play by ear versus someone who has to be trained. Now, again, in that situation, both of these people learn the same thing, but they learn in different ways. Now, as far as like their musicianship, they might be able to make the same type of songs, the same type of melodies, the same level of talent. One of them might be better, one of them might be worse. Who knows? But there isn't going to be a way to mark that in genetics, because there's no genetic marker for that. There just isn't.
Do you believe that the races are different, or do you think that race is real or not?
Race is a construct. If you look at this anthropologically,
it's a construct.
Yes, it is. I'm gonna explain how. If you look at this anthropologically, what is
It's biological.
Okay,
people are biological.
That's a buzzword.
I think it's completely insane whenever someone looks at people.
That's a buzzword.
What?
You said biological.
It is biological.
As far as race is concerned,
buzzword. What's a
as far as race is concerned, people here are no different than people anywhere else. Did you know that people in America, specifically in America, white people have like 20% black DNA, and this is according to all of the fucking DNA people?
It's not true.
I did a stream on this. I have the documents.
It's not true.
I have the documents.
I've had my DNA tested.
Congratulations,
because I've been shouting and everybody in the people are getting upset with me talking.
Congratulations,
Zero. I just need to ask the white man one more thing. Listen,
technically we're all from Africa.
No, white man. Does this make sense to you?
Right. That's why I was going with that.
Listen, white man. White man, just one question. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, Madman, ask your question, and then we're gonna get Brittany.
White man, does this make sense to you that we as black people have the superior genetics fact when it comes to sport and just the better skin resistance to the sun, less chance of getting skin cancer?
100% agree.
No, I've not finished. That we have the better organs, hence why there's been alleged that white people stealing from us. But
No,
somehow,
that's not
no,
true.
hold on, I'm not finished. We have all these superior genetics as black people, but then somehow the white man has the superior brain. Does that make sense to you?
I agree with some
God
of
was
what
like,
you
we're
said.
going to give the black people the body,
Hold
but
on,
give the white
hold
person
on,
the brain.
Hold on. Let me address what you said. I agree with some of what you said, but the thing about white people stealing black organs, if you know
that's the
any,
semantic
hold
part.
on,
another
please,
rabbit hole.
let me finish. Let me finish.
Madman.
That wasn't my point.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
No, answer the
Please
question.
let me finish.
Don't go down that rabbit hole, organs, please.
No, I have to address it because he said it. I get to address what he
Address
said.
it, but don't make it a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it won't be a big thing. We all know that organs go better interracially, not cross-racially. That is 100%.
That wasn't my question, though. You just took
No,
one bit out of it.
You didn't even let me finish. You didn't even let me finish. You didn't even let me finish.
How about this? Why don't you say, are you a racist?
Well,
he doesn't.
No, sir. No, sir.
So
This
you
guy
keep
don't
making
answer
these points.
questions.
Yes, he is.
You keep making points that are racist.
Madman.
How
Madman,
is
right
how is
quick.
He's not answering my questions,
Andrew,
though.
Madman, right quick. Andrew, I think you meant to say intra-racially, not interracially.
yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for
But,
correcting me.
but yeah, go ahead and
But
go
he's
ahead.
still not answered my question.
No,
How does that make sense?
hold on. Let him answer your question without
You
interrupting.
jump me every time I try to answer it, man.
Yeah, go
You
for it.
jump me every time I
Okay,
try
now
to
get to the
answer it.
part. What did you answer? Go on.
Well, there are genetic differences between the races, and also that thing about black dicks being bigger. That's actually true. It's been
Oh, that was
proven.
random.
I'm just saying. Hey, what do you want to leave it
That
out?
was random.
Obvious troll is obvious.
So that makes sense to you.
So okay.
I never get to answer. I don't even know why I do this.
No, Madman. Let him answer the. All right, well that's that. All right, so
He left.
yeah,
Good.
I just have to point out that
he must have
right there.
crashed.
That was super
I think he
random.
crashed.
That was
I think
super random.
I think
How
his
does that
system
make
crashed.
sense? Black people have the better bodies, but the recessive genetic white people have the better brains. What? How the fuck?
Well,
does
I
that
wanted
make
him
no
to.
sense?
I wanted him to stay. I
That's
wanted to ask
called
him a
cope.
question. His
Huh?
homework.
It's
How
called
does
cope.
that?
Again,
Yeah,
there
how
are no
does that
genetic
make
markers for
biological
that.
sense?
There's no genetic markers for that. So if you produce, if you put niggas in nigga farms and make them physically superior, that's still not going to guarantee that they're going to be stupid because there are no genetic markers for stupidity or intelligence. So you're gonna have the same chance as anybody else. So if you create physically superior people, they're going to end up being smarter than you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, examples of this is a bunch of black people jumping into engineering that have to be to get hired at least 3 to 5 times better than their white counterparts. I'm a prime example of that. I have to know everything. I have to know how to code. I have to know how to network. I have to know how to administrate. I have to do all of that shit. So to his point, okay, if he's admitting to black people being physically superior, and evidence of this is the nigger farms, plantations. I mean, Hitler has his work can be seen in Switzerland. I mean, what the fuck? So yeah, but when you create physically superior people and you can't account for intelligence because again, there are no genetic markers for that, you're going to end up with people that are bigger, stronger, and smarter than you at some
Well,
point.
earlier in the conversation, he brought up something about Africa having
right
quick,
brother. Let me just get some super chats out, and then I promise you got the floor. Lyric Speaks, love a haircut, and I appreciate the $3.99 super chat. Lyric Speak, well, welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, and next we have Mr. Pump and Dump. Y'all lit today. Great stream. Appreciate you, P&D. Appreciate you a lot, brother. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so early in the stream, he brought up something about Africans still being in huts and how they weren't put there. One thing many people like him don't recognize is that the reason why certain groups of people in certain regions don't innovate like Europeans did, because they didn't have the necessity to. Europe is a very scarce environment. It's a very hard environment to live off of. That's why they used to kill each other for resources. When you go to different environments, you don't have to innovate as much just to survive. You typically don't do what you don't have to do. And that's just human nature. Humans adapt to their environment. And if your environment doesn't call for much innovation in order to survive, doesn't call for you to go out and conquer other people in order to bring in resources because of a lack of resources in your particular environment, you won't do so. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It just has to do with necessity.
Just to let you know, even lack of necessity did not help Europeans. And this isn't a shot at white people in general, but the knowledge that Europe was built upon did not come from Europe itself. After the Crusades, and they sacked, and they sacked some of the regions from former the Eastern Roman Empire. They gained knowledge, Mediterranean knowledge, which is from all continents, that they brought back to Europe, and that's where the castles and things like that came from. Prior to that, they were in dire circumstances, mud huts, grassy knolls and things like that. So
they were dying of dysentery and leprosy.
I mean, even if you look at all the Europeans, look at the Vikings.
I got it, brothers. Yeah, in the Vikings, for example, they had their own thing, but there is no great Colosseums or anything like that in their history. Most of these things come from the Mediterranean regions, which is a collective of different. Who's that? Brittany, is that you?
I don't think so.
Get quiet.
All right. Yeah, that is. Could you mute yourself, Britt? Proto Man. So the great civilizations that the Europeans like to brag upon, like the Roman civilizations and the Greek civilizations, they come from areas where is more or less multicultural. They have access to all continents. Greece being, bordering Asia to the northeast, and Africa on the opposite side of the Mediterranean. And Rome itself are Turkish immigrants from Troy, and they're not even Indo-European. So it's not even that. They just kind of got knowledge from other people, the same as gunpowder and a lot of the things that they brag upon as being European innovations. Mm-hmm. So, and don't get me wrong, their pioneering spirit did grant them access to half of the world's wealth, literally through the Americas, which gave them a wealth advantage over everybody else in the world, which they exploit today. It has nothing to do with IQ or intelligence, however. So,
but the essence of what Europeans did, the people who did those things, right? They don't really, unfortunately, he tries to take credit for that when his racism is not what they were about. They just weren't about that. Yeah, I mean, we can go back history and show wars and stuff. I'm saying the essence of the spirit of what they did not represent the racism that he tries to adopt and tries to validate. When he went to Penn State, I'm saying, bro, that's Princeton. You're talking about Princeton. They don't fuck with you over there. You went to Penn State, yet you're sitting up here acting like just because the people who went to Princeton are white, that has something to do with you. That doesn't have anything to do with you.
He's trying to live vicariously through other white people. White people do this a lot. They try to live vicariously through each other.
Okay.
He's taking the talking points from a lot of dudes that believe this.
Yeah, if white people are if black people,
let's nip that in the bud. If he's living vicariously through other white people, let's nip that in the bud, because I can live vicariously through Michael Jordan, and I'm still shit at basketball.
GC, does this make sense to you?
Right quick. Let me rock. And he can live vicariously through more intelligent white people, but he still is who he is. Let's be clear. Northern European Jewish people have the highest IQs in the world. They classify as white, therefore their average brings up yours. Followed by Middle Eastern Muslims, followed by Middle Eastern Jews, followed by I think Oriental, like Chinese and things like that. However, Andrew, even if what you say is true, you're second to last. So you know how when they have the race in the Olympics, and it's like 5 or 4 Africans and then 4 Europeans like way in the back, you're Iceland as far as IQs go. Now, don't get me wrong, you're faster than Greenland, but you're still Iceland, and nobody gives a shit about this.
Well, it's a point that needs to be made that there's a reason why they won't level the playing field, because they know if they level the playing field, they will fall behind.
Exactly. What I said to him at the beginning, and he didn't want to answer it. If the education was equal, then you can say, okay, yeah, white people are smarter than black people, but the education has never been equal.
Well, Jessica brought up a point that the educational system at least where she lives, that has a higher concentration of African immigrants than we do, is level, and the African boys are excelling past the whites. And that's the same here, perhaps not with the Africans. There isn't a large enough sample for me to know, but I do notice that.
Same here too. When I say that, this isn't even immigrants who have come over from Africa, so they have a different culture or work ethic. These are Black boys of African heritage from the country.
Okay.
They are the top performers, followed by Indian boys. At the bottom of the league, you have white English and Bangladeshi boys.
Okay, I appreciate you. All right, so Sick Lid, I appreciate the $10 super chat. He says, "Hey Jessica and Melody, it's been confirmed. Us brothers got it going on. Eggplant, cucumber, and then I think that's a
chili.
pepper.
GC, just a quick question. I'm
You do
gonna
have
go
it going
straight.
on.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, GC, like this is what annoys me. Well, it's admitted that obviously white people came from black people, and they're our biological offspring. They're like no disrespect to white people, but they're the recessive, degenerating version of black people.
That's
so
very
if
disrespectful, but go ahead.
no, but
right,
that's the truth. It's the truth. So if that's the case, no, hold on.
That doesn't mean it's degenerative.
No, but the basic.
How is that the truth, man?
No, because okay, I'll use a different term if it's upsetting you. Their bodies are not at the same, are not as superior as a black person's body. So how is it that if we both know, we've always known this, forget all the jokes about black don't crack and all that. If we've always known this, how is it that their bodies?
But that's the whole point, man. We haven't always known this. Just a question, real quick.
Okay. So when we went to the Caucasus Mountains of Europe, when we banished them there, this isn't true. When black people didn't like the way they look and they got banished to the Caucasus Mountains of Europe, that's all fake history.
Yeah, open up
Let's not talk about it from a historical point of view. Let's just talk about it from a genetic.
Well, my issue is if it is true.
Let's talk about it from a Darwinistic point of view. Let's just say that their genetics is best suited from the environment which they evolved in. Okay, and it is best for that environment, as was ours. And as was theirs, because we both live in different environments now. We come from the U.S. Initially, so let's leave it there. But SKC, you had something?
Yeah, I just had a question to the panel in general. This interaction with this guy Andrew, do you all view this as an argument won?
I think that it's an argument that should not have been had. We have to be more careful about how we receive people trolls. I kind of suspected it yesterday when he said that Africans used to have German family values, or blacks used to have German values, and I thought that this is the values of every people, not just Germans. But it kind of alluded to he was on some race stuff. By the way, I think it's
Well, how about this? Let me augment my question.
I took the $5 from Mr. Ricky, who says albinos, and there's a question mark. So yeah, albinos. Yeah, it's a mutation, definitely. That doesn't mean that it's a degenerative.
Sorry, I used the wrong terminology. Regressive. Sorry, regressive.
Well, let me
albinos are different from white people, though. You can't.
No, they are. They are. I don't buy into the notion that
I didn't say albinos.
Well, let me augment the question just a little bit. Do you all feel that this was...
Listen, certain things are better for certain places, and albino community can thrive in a place with little to no sun, and it may be an advantage for them. So
inferior bodies, but the more intelligent brain. That makes sense, right?
Man,
no.
do you think that this was a win for Black intellectualism?
What, this conversation right now?
No. Obvious troll is obvious.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
what point did he win on, Cool? He was wrong on everything he said.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
way
but
to do
it's
something like
not.
that.
It's not on the whole thing of
What do you mean?
Right or
what.
wrong.
It's not on the whole thing of what was stated. It was look at the response on just the whole thought of here. It's 2020, and even at the, I would say the scare of, oh, a dude that's racist is here. Did you see how the natives went crazy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did, SKC.
No, I didn't. I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with his assessment that they're natives or something. Just the white, he didn't know what he was talking about.
Okay,
He was a white troll. He didn't know what he was talking about.
But so SKC's point, I think that we did handle it poorly. I seen it coming. I tried to interrupt on Fantastic's panel. I knew what he was doing, but he was allowed to do it regardless.
I don't believe any of us
Okay.
switched up. We've had
Okay.
this argument with black people on this
I will
platform.
go- I will go on.
If one person would have just did their best human code rendition, this would have been shut down in like.
Why didn't you do it then? Well, hold on. Why didn't you do it, Coon? You was up there.
Because there are too many people going crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't, right?
No, I
You
didn't.
gotta control your emotions when that type of shit. You can't.
I
let
think
them
you
get
agree
into
with
your
him,
skin.
Coon. I think you agree with him.
Okay,
but
I
he
mean,
didn't make one point that made any sense. If I was to go to a white man's channel equivalent, I don't know any channels like that, that he probably frequents. I guarantee you, if I make racist fucking statements, they will not like that. They won't say, "Oh, let's take some time out and just debate this." Okay, go ahead, Fred. You handle that.
So let's review right quick, Hammer. Let's review the circumstances that the conversation began, because he said that I said that women are attracted to men of higher IQs. I'm going to play a recording of what I actually said.
Art is them. I understand feminism and you destroy yourself. I understand. I'm not talking about that. What I don't understand is why they have not mastered, or they do not want to master, the philosophy to know how to go in there and defuse the bomb, so that you then become the puppet master, because that's what she wants anyhow. And then she becomes the submissive woman that you want, because there is a way to do it, and men do it all the time. So that becomes that's the discussion. Because I'm like, these guys can take a computer apart. These guys are tech experts, yet they're troubled because some female, gives them a little bit of resistance, or she won't behave. Okay, I do put that back on the man. I have to put that back on the man.
Platinum, you're generalizing. Hold on. You're generalizing, because I can both take a computer apart and put it back together and get a bitch to submit. So the generalization that I can't comes from nowhere, and that's why I asked that you not do that. So work under the assumption that that there isn't no balance. Okay, let's do that. I think that you are under the belief system that if somebody is smart, that he has to be socially inept. Or if somebody is strong, like Fantastic, he has to be a dumb jock or something like that. There isn't no balance. There's former NFL doctors. Could you mute yourself, brother? No one? Thank you. There's former like NFL, doctors, NFL players who came out to be doctors and shit like that. There is no fucking balance, So you work under the assumption that a brother with a 3-digit IQ can't get bitches. That's a false assumption. We do, and most likely better than you.
That's it. Hold on.
Are there methods of?
Yeah, hold on, because I disagree with all of that. I disagree with all of that, but I didn't respond.
No.
I want you to make your point. No, and then that's when he came up.
Yeah, so he came up after that. Now, y'all see what he was doing. He used that statement as a intro to spit propaganda about racial superiority and inferiority. And then he said that I said that women are attracted to 3-digit IQ guys. That's simply not true. People like that are really just circling the corral, waiting to spew their racist propaganda, or their, their beliefs in racial and ethnic hierarchies. Don't fall for it, people. It's obvious that he had an agenda. He sits there with, with his canned research, just waiting for opportunities to say shit like that. So,
well, I used to go back and forth with white nationalists, I think around 2000, maybe 13, 14. I used to go to Stormfront, listen to some of that stuff. I actually had a membership to the chat, and we go back and forth. And I know one particular point that I used to make that used to drive them crazy, and that's why most of that stuff is nonsense, affirmative. And that's when he started saying that, I started hearing the same talking points. But I used to bring up, men, because we're men, right? Because we talk man stuff, and I was talking about sex drive. I said, well, African American men, for whatever reasons, they become fertile, quicker, and they're longer. Like they can have sex longer, and they can actually make, have children for an extended period of time. Yet European men don't. They're not made that way. I like, you guys don't burn as hot or as long. Why is that?
Oh Lord.
Well, I mean, because of his appearance, we're now on the topic of racial inferiority or superiority. Something like that, we shouldn't allow that, because that's not what we were discussing before. And we were derailed, and now we're playing a game that he set. Let's not be so triggered into doing that.
I want to ask the mixed people which part of them is more superior.
Zero. The thing that I was just looking at, in this exchange was this, that here you have a golden opportunity, because some within the Black manosphere, you have a lot of people that, I understand the whole thing about racism and all that stuff, but you have all the history, you have all of this information that's at your fingertips. At this point in history, why do you even get in an uproar?
I mean, it was like we discussed before, though. When people's beliefs are challenged with objectivity, it hurts. Like it hurts their. I mean, it literally hurts. Like, because things that are objective are true, whether you want to believe them or not. And if you believe otherwise, it cracks your mental state.
But that's the thing, though, Zero. The dude came on about a bunch of people already. They in there thinking about, oh man, this dude is a racist or whatnot. Why not just hear the guy's points out, ask him logical questions, and see if he can answer them?
The thing is, the first thing he said out of his mouth was racist. And then when I did try to challenge it based on logic, he jumped in triggered because he was pissed off about me going over how those tests are constructed. When GameChanger actually listened to him and then called out his obvious method of doing what he was doing, he just kept saying no. He didn't even have an answer for it. He couldn't articulate it because that's what he was doing. So the only thing he could do was shake his head and say, no, you can see the hamster turning.
Right, Zero. So why not just continue down that same line of, hey, why are you so triggered about a simple question? Let's follow right back to that same question.
Well, I'll tell you why, because that's not what we're talking about.
This process for this audience.
Because that's not what we were talking about. He took the entire panel and derailed everything over to his point of view. We didn't want to talk about it, but it was kind of like you have to address it because he brought it up. But then you don't want to talk about that shit because you know it's incorrect anyway. It's almost like, why are you doing this? Like, you know what you're saying is bullshit.
Right.
He said affirmative action.
So then on that point of why are you doing this, since we obviously know that you get to a point of you don't see the logic behind it, then why not just ask that question? Hey, what is your motivation of bringing such up?
I think GC did kind of ask him that, and he just fucking rambled around it.
Yeah. Right. He said he said he wasn't a racist, but he kept making racist statements.
Yeah, because GC did pretty much ask him why is he doing this and why is he here, and he rambled around it. My bad, GC.
So no, I mean it's obvious what happened. He looked for a reason to include his racist propaganda, to inject it into Black conversation. It happened. Now we know what to look for when it happens again. Many of y'all might recall Aaron C., who's a white nationalist who still frequents. Hey, Hammer, you mind if I or Hammer or Brittany? Because actually, Brittany, because you're echoing real bad. I'm gonna kick you back because people in the background. All right, so
because to me, I think it's a good exercise to see where people are at emotionally and intellectually. A lot of times people say within a lot of these spaces, oh, we're going to handle things logically. And then they will piss on individuals by saying, oh, you're reacting too emotionally. But look what happened here today.
But hold on.
Well, I mean, we're not
to Black people, right?
Told by people like this too often. And when we are, we got to know how best to handle it. I think Fantastic did a bang up job. He recognized what he was, and he acted accordingly and immediately. That's why he rescheduled. Y'all may not have peeped it, but that's why he rescheduled it. He said, "Let's talk about this." Who is that?
But don't Black.
Hold on. Y'all hear that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's that? Melody, is that
Sounds
you?
like an echo.
I was muted the whole time.
No, that's not me.
I'm gonna mute just to see.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, testing. Okay. So, Fantastic seen what he was doing to a lesser extent in the beginning, and he just rescheduled it to Thursday because he knew that he was pulling the topic to somewhere else. Not at the race stuff at that time, but he was pulling it somewhere else. So he recognized that. I recognized it later. And that's why I sent him to look for the quote and everything so we can get back on topic. But, we have to watch out for things like this.
Well, no, Game Changer.
No, I have a question for SKC.
Sure.
Okay, so with the way people handled it on the panel and stuff, right? Do you feel like it's a better method?
I hear it again.
Who's that?
I hear the echo again.
All right, everybody but Sister George right now. Go for it.
Okay. I was asking, was it a better method to not to be professional with them without getting emotional, or to actually dismiss a person? Like, you can tell a person off without having to curse them out, but without actually having to entertain their arguments. Because I think for him to get on a panel with Black men and tell Black men that he's smarter than them, I really thought that was some bullshit. And although I probably wouldn't have cursed him out, I probably wouldn't have entertained the conversation. And I'm asking you, is it better to entertain the conversation or to be very dismissive of a person like that?
I think it's better to entertain the conversation in, I would say, more of a controlled demeanor. And the reason being is because when you don't, you actually feed into the propagation of the ideas that Black people cannot have logical conversations.
Are we forgetting to the way that? Are we forgetting the way he spoke to the general?
Wait. Let me just ask this. Okay, so then let me ask you a question. If you're entertaining a conversation, especially with somebody who is actually supposed to be intellectually and physically below you, do you put them on an equal level when you entertain those conversations with somebody who's not supposed to be shit to you anyway?
Repeat that one more time. I'm not getting the gist of what you're saying.
If you entertain a conversation, do you argue with the child? You don't argue with the child because you're smarter than the child for the most part, right? So
Well,
I'm saying, like,
I don't think that his point was saying, hey guys, I'm smarter than you. I didn't get that feel.
Oh, that's exactly what I got.
Well, I mean, you gotta talk about what he's saying. Although you can't just ignore it, otherwise it keeps growing. That's part of what put Black men here with our women is that we kept ignoring shit.
Well,
at a certain point, you got.
So he was brought in. He was brought into the conversation. The key thing to do, and when this situation arises, fellas, is exactly like Fantastic did. Thank you for bringing that up, but it's too far off topic. He was off topic no matter what. Even if the statement was made that women are attracted to guys with higher IQ, that has nothing to do with race. He brought in race to troll. So
Exactly. So why are we trying to make out like he was calm and collected though? We saw the way he spoke to the general. Play it back. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. What the fuck
we're not
are you
talking about what
talking
he
about?
was. We're talking about
We're talking about how we handled the situation and how it should be handled in the future.
I know, but he came with the aggression, so we came back at him.
So Madman, exactly what you just stated when you said you see how he responded to General. Now, so all I'm saying is this: how much better would it be right now if we were having a conversation of we're the laid back ones, we're the calm, collected ones. We're saying, look, this is how these questions and this logic was presented. Look at how emotional and erratic this individual reacted to just those questions and this set of logic.
But the problem is you guys don't owe him any fucking respect more than you owe each other.
Correct. There's no one that says we can't be passionate.
If you respected him, that would be fine, but you don't owe him anything. You don't owe him respect. You don't owe him shit.
We have a right to be passionate also, you know?
I understand that.
No, you can't. Coon, you can't say that because you're constantly trying to act like because he's white, he gets special treatment. He's not going to get special treatment.
You have a right to be passionate too.
Yeah, people get bumped off panels all the time here. Black people, they get cussed out. He actually, you know what? In a lot of ways, he really didn't even get no real heat. Yeah. Motherfuckers addressed his questions. They exposed him for what he was, a fraud, and he left. Nobody told him to leave.
But you think if the tables turned, and it was a black person on a white person's panel, that would have went down? Because I don't.
The bigotry and low expectations kicked in because it's a white man. We're supposed to be calm and collected.
No, that's not the point.
Exactly.
The point isn't about him being white. The point is you should want to hold a certain level of standard for yourself.
Right.
And so that means you want to actually have a decent conversation. Race aside, I even say it's too much in the sector. We all just shout over each other. And that's why a lot of the time the conversations go nowhere. We have to learn to talk to each other properly. It's not about what color he is.
And that's the whole point, Jessica, of what I was saying.
That's the point?
If this conversation would have went in a calm and collected way.
You know what? If he hadn't have brought up race in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or got up on a panel talking about how easy it is to have sex with black women, although he's only been with one, and then to get up on a panel full of black men then to say that he's smarter than black men or that white people are smarter than black people. He's the one who brought race into this in the first place.
Well, Sister George, that's why I reset. But Sister George, that's why I reset the anger part of it and just basically spoke to the science behind it, because I wanted him to shut the fuck up. If he can't argue the actual science behind it, then he really doesn't have a point after that. That's why I reset and started talking about the actual science behind intelligence.
And that's the point, Sister George, is this. Even if you feel that way, why do you have to show your hand?
I don't necessarily think it's about showing your hand. Like I said, there's a way to drop a person off a panel and to be dismissive of a person without calling them names, without doing whatever. But my whole point is there was a whole lot more respect shown to him than y'all actually show to each other in the space. And that is crazy.
The bigotry of low expectations. The white man came in and people were like,
well, first of all, I joined the panel to talk about the topic. He came up with the race and he came up with a book full of his facts and references that he wanted me to pop.
And he came to specifically to when he called the general an idiot and like, are you serious? Oh my God.
But you know what? In that moment, Zero was doing a good job of just dismantling the talking points, and really and truly we should have just left him to it and let them have that conversation. It doesn't take everyone to jump in, because then you get nowhere when he was actually on.
Well, I can agree with you.
Well, when we tried to do it in the beginning, because GameChanger tried in the beginning too, but I tried to break down how those IQ tests work, and he spazzed out because he didn't want to hear that.
He hates the IQ test. He breaks down the IQ test. He breaks down all of everything he believes.
Reaction
That's
from
his
there
Bible.
is on him. You
I'm sorry. I thought I was on a black panel. I'm sorry. Why are we here trying to prove to this white man that we're the calm and collected ones? Why him? Why him?
What
Why
is the deal about race?
There is rarely one day within the black manosphere where white people ain't brought up.
So
to say this whole thing about a person came in and started talking about
I'll make sure my mic is working. Can y'all hear me?
So we got to do like Eve, start talking prim and proper. Now that a white man,
the madman, you were no different from him because you sat back and called white people recessive and all of this sort of stuff. You were no different.
Did I lie?
Let me.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my
God. So white people don't have recessive legs.
Supreme King. Nicolette said Supreme King Kun is living up to his name. And,
that's right.
And Kenny Kondo, and Kenny Kondo sent a $5 super chat. He says, "Salute Game Changer. Definitely don't take this down." Let's see. I need to catch the playback. Playback. Greeting to the panelists in chat. I appreciate you, brother.
Wait, I'll put it.
I'm gonna have to cycle
hold on. Let me hop in.
I'm gonna have to cycle some people because I think Tommy's trying to get on. So, or he might be trying to get on. Hopefully. So okay. So yeah, have an open slot right now.
Well,
all right. So let me say this. Hold on, Platinum. Let me say this. When it happened over on Fantastic Panel, personally, and when I asked him just to clarify, because I wanted him to openly just say what he was trying to say, he feels white people are smarter than black people. Okay, I'll let everybody else handle it or whatever. I don't even believe we should have them on the panels, period, to even have any kind of conversation with them or try to discuss anything with them, just period. That's my own personal stance. The same way I don't believe, in the black man, so we should be listening to women's opinions either. I wouldn't even have them, like their opinions don't even matter. So that's why I didn't feel the need to argue with them about it. So to me, that's the easiest way. Just don't even deal with them. Just drop them. Okay, you feel the way? Boop, gone.
Jessica, who was yelling at Tommy when he was trying to ask him a question? Because I remember him and Brandon X got into it.
Yeah, it was Brandon.
Brandon's not here.
Yeah, I think he might think it's Madman because Madman has a bit of an accent.
Okay.
I don't believe,
Mr. Tommy Sotomayor, how you doing today, brother?
Mute up.
Well,
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Hey, Tommy.
I'm the only fool with my camera on. Let me turn it off then. Shit.
I know we got the same T. You're gonna have to change that.
Well, you said
what?
No, don't matter.
You sent us one of your peoples, and he stirred everything up over here, as you can see.
Shit.
Well, one of your people came and kind of stirred everything up over in this.
Nobody is any of my people. If people listen to me, they listen to me. If they join the panel, they join the panel.
One of your subs came.
Hey, Tommy, do you agree with what he said or no?
There's some parts of what I heard y'all saying. He said I didn't see it, but I heard if y'all said that he said it's easy for white men to fuck black women, that's actually true.
It is.
No.
The
beginning thing that set it off when he said that white people are more intelligent than black people.
If you go by the IQ test, that's true.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. If you go by, wait. If you go by the SAT test, it's true. If you go by the ACT, it's true. If you go by the ASFAB, it's true. If you keep using any standardized test that's been used, it keeps being true. Now you can argue with statistics, but if the statistic exists, you can't get mad at somebody for quoting it. If somebody quotes the statistics saying there are more blacks in the NBA, therefore they're better at basketball than whites, you can't get mad at that.
Okay.
No.
Right. And that's why I was breaking down how the test work.
You said the question wrong. He said white people are biologically smarter than black people.
Oh, okay. So he said they're
as if they were just born naturally smarter than black people.
Now here's the thing. At that point, you can start having the argument because if something exists, then you can start throwing out many reasons of either why or why it doesn't.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, he said that affirmative action, white women didn't benefit the most from affirmative action.
That's not true.
Matter of fact, he said white women affirmative action didn't help them at all because he said it was all for blacks.
That's not true. White women actually benefit more than anybody, and King Sigma actually did a video about that.
Yeah, it's right here. I showed him. He said go get the reference. I showed him the reference, and he still denied it.
Well, you said can you send it?
You got to get a real reference. That was
you can't give somebody's video as a reference.
Well, I wasn't trying to use this video as a reference, but I also read the
I don't have a video as a reference. I have an actual file, but it's a fact that they're minorities. They do it here where I live. They go to college because they're white females. They're minorities. They're females. They get into college via affirmative action. They graduate college. They marry white men, and they get minority contracts because the white men put the businesses in their name, and they become minority contractors. They've complained about it here where I live a bit, and they do this all over America. And then you have idiots like that sub to your channel come over here and makes ridiculous racist statements that affirmative action only benefits black people, when actually it doesn't. And I actually don't even support affirmative action because it doesn't benefit black people. You want to be for real?
If he said it only benefits blacks, then that's not true. Title IX is something that benefits females. A lot of things that benefit females are out there, and that's one of the things that I talk against. So if anybody's a sub of mine, they would know I talk about the biggest governmental handouts go to women, whether it's black, white, or whoever. Women get the leg up on that. So
okay, I agree with you.
Well, so Tommy, let me ask this, because I think that this is a pushback that you get from a lot of supporters, like the Brandon guy that was on last night. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. Supreme, could you mute yourself, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
He sounded like you didn't want to do that.
Okay, so some of the pushback is because there's such a visceral hatred, on your channel, and it's justified in my opinion, against niggas and certain niggers' behavior that's exhibited in black women, definitely justified. However, it invites white people to give similar critiques that they use as white supremacist talking points. So do you think that that's a problem that you have on your channel? And if so, what would you do to address it?
The Bible gives white supremacist talking points. You can
go for it.
I'm saying you can turn anything into any kind of talking point. You seriously can. So I don't care how somebody uses it. Think about this. A knife can be used to flay a fish or kill a person. What are you going to ask the knife maker? Hey, do you feel bad that people are using your knives that you made the ginsu or tomato to kill people? No, because that's a dumbass. I don't get mad at what people do with my words. They can do whatever they want to. If a person's a white supremacist, they can use white supremacy and white supremacy talking points at any place and time where they decide they found it.
What would you like for people to do with your words, particularly black men?
I tell everybody I don't want people to think like me. I just want them to think. I want to be able to trigger a person to be able to look at something. And if you have a long held standing belief, then great. You shouldn't be, what somebody else says against it shouldn't make you so upset. That's why when I heard you guys doing all that, we should be able to yell at that dude. And why should we worry about how they perceive us? Number one, that's an ignorant thing for someone to say. Why should we worry about how they perceive us? There are animals in the animal kingdom that are smart enough to be chameleons in order to be able to blend in because it's a defense mechanism. So if you're wondering how you should be perceived, if you are a minority in a country and you believe that these people are mistreating you, killing you, and doing all kinds of stuff to you to where you got to go around marching and begging, talking about some hands up, don't shoot, then maybe you should care about how you're being perceived. And if they're perceiving you as a threat because you're constantly yelling and acting irrational, then maybe if you and other blacks acted in a certain way around them, then you could get other white people who you perceive as a threat to not perceive you as a threat.
Tommy says it, and then everybody shuts up. But I say that I'm crazy.
No. I'm not going to do anything. No. Hold on. That's not right. The guy was just talking to me directly. And to be honest, if it's 9 other people on the panel and they see people are having a one-on-one conversation, they probably should step away. If me and him were fighting, they should just circle us and not join in.
Well, I just find it odd that when having these, I would say a similar, not the exact same wording, but a similar thought as to a set of rules of decorum of when handling certain issues. Then all these comments came up out of the chat of, oh, coon, this, blah, 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 blah. You said nobody saying anything.
Remember, I said, I said blacks need to have a civil war. They looked at me like I was crazy. That Claude Anderson said the exact same thing. And they said, yes, he's right. I said slavery was a choice. Everybody got mad at me. The movie Black Panther, the man said he'd rather jump off the boat like the ancestor did instead of being a slave, and they stood up and cheered.
So
niggas don't care what's being said. They care who said it.
So Tommy, can I ask, Tommy, do you believe there should be some form of cleansing of the black community? An in-house cleansing?
Yes, you got to prune things in order for them to grow.
Okay. I definitely agree with that.
Ask a woman about healthy hair. What does she do in order to keep healthy hair? She cuts off dead ends. Oops.
Hey, I've been saying this for the longest. I ain't mad at it.
Who's going to define what should be cut off?
Well, what's productive versus what's unproductive or destructive, even.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Okay, define what's productive versus.
How about we do this?
Well, I wanted to ask Tommy a question.
Well, let me say this to them, and then I'll answer your question. Why don't we do this? Let's not define who about being cut off. Why don't we define what cut off means? Because cut off doesn't mean kill. You got friends and family members who you know ain't shit. You didn't go kill them. You just don't associate with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's already being done. They're doing that now.
Well, let's make sure we understand what words mean before we start applying the word.
Well, when you say prune or cut off, it is kill in a sense because niggas in general aren't self-sufficient, meaning that they require a healthy society or community to leash off of.
Kill and die are two different things.
No. Follow me for a second.
Leaving niggas to die. I don't want to kill them.
They will die, and you won't be the one killing them. That's what I was getting at. Just by separating a healthy community from niggas, from those who leech off of it, will kill them. But you are not the one killing them. You are the one.
Kill cancer when you remove it. It'll die because it doesn't have a host.
So take away niggas' welfare.
Exactly.
Okay. So a lot of incentive, and here's the biggest thing. Take away incentives to do nigga shit.
Get rid of the no snitching clause.
Yes, you got too many incentives to do nigga shit. Which is why niggas exist. If you don't have incentives, it's the same thing why baby mamas exist. Baby mamas exist in large numbers because there are incentives to be that.
Okay.
True.
Okay.
Right. But
so when I say no snitching clause,
so you're gonna cut the
innocent bystanders, not thugs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, nothing. Go ahead.
So Tommy, you had a run-in with a certain dark-skinned activist recently. I've
run into a lot of dark-skinned women. Oh, right. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. You telling me?
No, a dark-skinned activist. And she's been on this channel a lot. She's actually heard this song, and she was a little upset. I want you to tell me what you think of it.
Oh Lord.
GameChanger. If I ever fall in love again,
are you trying to get a record deal?
Or some pussy.
First time that I saw your face, decided to look up into green eyes.
I can't hear what it's saying.
You can't hear it?
What are we doing here?
I can't hear the words. Why didn't you just tell me what the word say?
No, basically it's the song.
It's like you're playing it through a phone.
It's a microphone. Okay, I'll send it to you directly. I'll send it to your email, Tommy.
But what is it saying that makes it offensive? Because I sound like you're redoing.
It's a song about light skinned it, made to Silk Forever, or excuse me, my friend. But I'll send it to you. Just look for my email.
You're talking about light skinned it.
Light skinned women, yeah.
Well, you first off need to take one of them EDs off.
No, light skinned it.
They're not light skinned it. That's past tense. So once you put that ED on it, that means that what they turn dark.
Well, they weren't like well, I mean, no,
unless they were past tense,
unless they turned dark, then they would be like skinned.
Unless they were light skinned in the past tense.
No, I get what you're saying, but they were light skinned in the past tense as well as the present tense, and they will continue to be light skinned in the future tense. But
you still put ED on it, man.
I like the ED on it, Tommy.
I'd rather you tell me what you like than what's correct. I at least accept that.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be correct. It just has to be right.
Tommy, I've got a question for you. This white man came in before, and basically, he came in, and certain individuals on this panel were suggesting that we should have been calm and coof for this.
I suggested it as well.
Yet he was disrespectful to black people on here.
Which is sometimes how you win, which is why when I was talking about that woman yesterday, I said, Angela Stanton, I said the smart thing for her as a woman who is married and running would have been to say nothing.
Right.
But
sometimes you win by not playing the game. You need to look. I'm an old man, so go look up this movie called War Games. At the end of it, when they found out how to beat the computer, and the computer figured out and said the best way to win is to not play at all.
But he left. We defeated him. He left. He wasn't actually.
Well, if y'all feel like y'all won, then y'all wouldn't keep talking about it.
No. Okay, well, you talked to what? That's mad, man. I haven't brought it up.
You made him look bad.
Hold on. In fact, I wanted the panel to allow me to take care of the guy. They wouldn't do it. I begged. They wouldn't do it. I defeated all his points.
The best way to do someone who's starting off saying you're not smart enough is to beat them intellectually. So you don't have to yell at.
Well, hold on a second. That's what we started off doing.
Please,
that was the first thing I did was attack
if you
how
don't
to
mind,
text.
let me finish, and then I understand where I'm coming from. My point is, if they're trying to prove you're not as smart as them, a lot of times they're trying to egg you on. So from the outside, the people will see you as all y'all blacks jumping on him when you start yelling at him. But when you don't, he's now barking at the moon. When the moon barks back at the wolf, there's a problem. Let him do what he's doing, and then you still dismantle him, and y'all will be that group that says this white dude came in the middle of us trying to egg us on, and he lost.
Understood. But one of the first things we did when he was talking about those tests was to go over how the tests are constructed. That's where he first lost, and then he started yelling about it. The second time was when we went over how intelligence works. How intelligence in general even works as far as like because we have new information on how
I understand, but here's a problem.
Okay, so then he left after that.
Y'all have too many people on your panel. That's why when my family has things going on, we don't let everybody speak. If somebody died in our family, the police come up or the news reporters come, we ain't gonna let. Have you ever noticed on the news they always go to the dumbass? The family could be a group of great people, except that one person. The news will make sure that one person gets to speak. I'm not trying to be funny, but y'all got a brother that's on this line right now who yesterday when I talked on the show, I was on another show, I was being very nice and I was going to answer any question anybody had, but he couldn't stop himself.
That's a different guy. It's not the same guy.
They have
okay. So what I'm saying, that guy though, you can't have people like that speak for you. So even if you have an individual who's winning and beating the other guy intellectually, if you got a fool on your panel that still just starts rah-rah-rahing, you still lost. That's your homeboy.
It's like diplomacy. You got to put forward your best face.
Thank you.
We as black people, we suck at diplomacy. We are terrible at it.
But Tommy, I've watched your shows, Tommy. You've even lost your rag numerous times, and you said it's because I'm passionate. Sometimes
I lose. Hold on, wait. If you go to a strip club, you expect to see naked people. If you go to a church and some naked people jump out, you'd be surprised. When you come to me, I am actually paid to be the person I am. So people are expecting it. As a matter of fact, when they don't get it, most people will be pissed off. So you have to understand there's a role that I'm doing. I tell people all the time, when I get off my show and I'm around my daughter, I don't even cuss.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I get mad when I don't see naked people at church. That pisses me off.
So what I'm saying is, understand the arena you're in. If you go to the football stadium and a basketball game break out, you might be surprised.
But Tommy, once you're doing, or they could have just kicked, or they could have just kicked the races off and been done with it. They could have done that. As far as the panel, why should he get special treatment?
Well, whatever I don't know if it was you who said that, but while I was listening, I was like, that guy got it right. If he's talking about something that has nothing to do with your subject, kick him off and keep going.
Why
would you let him stop you and make you stick on something you weren't talking about and didn't plan on talking about? So at the end of the day, if the white man feels like he controls so much, and I want you to understand this, if a white man in his own life or around his own people isn't important, but he come around you niggas and get y'all niggas to stop talking about what y'all talking about to talk about what he did, how you think he feel at the end of that?
Exactly. And that's why I kept pushing, get back on the subject.
Exactly. Smart. The person who said that, I listened to him. I said, that person's right. The person who said, this is not what we were talking about. Let's get back to it. Y'all constantly let people get y'all off y'all game. And I even said about me. And the reason I can say it out loud, because I know niggas are incorrigible and they won't learn even if you tell them. I tell people all the time, if you want Tommy to go away, if you want me to not make money and drive Cadillac car and Cadillac trucks, ignore me. But niggas can't. The way you make something go away that's built off of attention is to not feed it.
Okay.
Oops.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's mad awkward, son.
No, I mean, because it's interesting. He talked about how when he was on the dark skin activist channel before, how much attention he was getting, and positive attention, and I think that, people do react a little different for that reason. But you kind of notice when they look for it and expect it.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Do you see a bunch of white guys doing well, trying to antagonize niggas on the internet? No. So what y'all do is allow somebody who doesn't have power in their real life to get online and get you upset.
Who? He didn't upset anybody here.
He was able to change the topic, though.
My issue is everyone was saying we should switch up for some reason, and then I thought that's the big.
Go right back. If y'all really are talking about things that you believe are important to the community, you shouldn't allow somebody to get you to talk about something that's important to them.
But we also have to be looked at as individuals. When you look at the whole panel, everybody's different. I think Madman represents.
You start running the panel, because just like in my house, everybody's different. But if you come in this motherfucker smoking and I don't want anybody to smoke, you getting the fuck out.
Tommy, you're Tommy. Madman is different. None of you guys, I'm not responsible for anything you say or do. So you can't turn around and blame the panel because some people misbehaved on the panel.
Nor can you blame the white man. Nor can you blame the white man because of how y'all feel.
We'll put it this way. I'm not going to talk nice to him just because he's white, because basically that's saying if he was a black man saying the same stuff, me shouting at him or whatever would have been okay.
I say it shouldn't happen on either side. I said it to the black guy who was talking to me last night. I said, this is a perfect opportunity that if y'all believe that I'm full of shit and a liar, this is a way to prove it without letting me use the fact that you're loud. Have you noticed that that's what women do when they're in an argument with you guys? Have you ever noticed that you can catch her cheating and she'll say something to you and you'll start yelling? She'll say, see, that's why I cheated. You're like, wait a minute, what? People will push you to do something different to take the focus off of the place where they're losing.
I kept saying obvious troll is obvious.
I said he's a provocateur. I did say that.
Remember when I had that debate with that guy, he kept losing on his point. So all he did was try to frustrate me. So I just left. I don't have to sit here and talk to you. You're stupid and I make money and y'all don't. That was how I looked at it. Why would I sit here and keep arguing with this man? I've been in 2 hours. I'm good. They were like, you ran away from him. I said, the dude was losing. So his only thing was to do was to frustrate me. At first, I'm thinking I'm having a conversation with somebody who's listening until I realized, no, he's not listening. He's just trying to fuck with me. So I just walked. You got to learn how to walk. You got to learn how to walk away. A lot of what happens with us as black people when we end up fighting and shooting and shit like that, it's typically because one person wouldn't walk.
All right, but the rebuttal to that is, but content though.
I thought y'all had content going before, so
no, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm just saying that's
if y'all gonna use them for content, then use them for content. But don't try to make it seem like it's something other than it is.
This is not my personal view. I'm just saying that's the general sentiment.
But don't use him as then he's wrong if y'all are using him as content. Y'all apparently are glad he came through if you needed content like that.
No, nobody needed his content. He joined the panel. And
So that's content.
Again, this is not my personal view. It's just general sentiment. Typically, it's just like, but content though. I wouldn't.
No, I agree with you. All content is content because somebody's gonna like it. I can pull out my penis right now online. Somebody's gonna be disgusted. Somebody's gonna watch it. They both are gonna have a discussion about it.
Well, tell me, the white man was inflammatory. I don't know if he came to do that on purpose or he just came out that way.
A lot of people are inflammatory.
See, that's my point.
The way that I speak is inflammatory on purpose because I'm going after the weak who, if they hear it, they're going to get mad.
But this is my point. Madman just made my point. He got inflamed by the guy.
Right.
And
the guy
that's
who's able to talk to him logically, if you are mad, let the guy who can talk to him logically handle it. It's just like when me and my friends come out. We got a handsome one, we got a rich one, we got a strong one, we got a funny one. If we walk into a group that requires the funny guy speak, he does most of the speaking. If we walk into the group where a handsome guy speaks, he does most of the speaking. You got to be able to, as men, step back and say, I'm going to let my homeboy have this one. Like
Good luck with that shit, because niggas want to be all of those at the same time.
There you go, Ed. Thank you. That's it. Everybody want to be the leader. And since everybody wants to be the leader, we always have this headbutting. Nobody wants to step back and say, my boy good at this, let me let him handle it. My girlfriend good at this, let me let her handle it. We all want to be the man. That's why everybody...
Not in my household. Not in my household. I don't have those problems. I know what you're talking about, and that doesn't happen. We don't let people do that.
Well, now that the white man's back, I'm going to be calm and cooth and collected and try and talk to his reserve way. Simply
so you're going to be calm? What?
I mean,
well, thank you so much, GC, for having me. I hope you guys have a very, very blessed afternoon. You guys be great. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Is that the woman that wanted to ask me a question? Because I got to go off. I got to get off in like 2 minutes, but I'll answer that question.
Yeah, she left.
Oh well, then I got to leave too. But I enjoy you guys. Let me jump on here. I'm going on a world tour, I guess.
All right, bro.
Okay, I appreciate you, Tommy.
All right, talk to you guys
later.
Peace.
Okay, so yeah, now we know what trolling is and how to avoid it. And thanks once again, Tommy, for stopping by. So Zero, before all of this, and this is also to you, Platinum. We were talking about the Pookie Ray Ray and how we shouldn't give these straw tropes of people when making the argument, because that devalues the argument. You're basically creating a straw man, and you're slaying that straw man when you say this particular educated lame is not getting pussy, and therefore his arguments is based on the fact that he's not getting pussy, when it very well could be possible that he is. So I think that once you move away from that tactic, you and Zero can have like a real conversation about that. But
I've had multiple conversations.
But it always goes in that direction.
Right, but your position is on some shit where you saying like, if you don't agree with like the game shit, if you don't agree with it, then you just don't know the game. You ain't got the game. You approaching it from this position of like, on this I'm better than you shit. And it's like I used to do the same shit you niggas did. Like, so as soon as you approach the shit from that position, we can't have a conversation. It's just like with that educated lame Pookie shit. Calling somebody educated lame is the same as calling them a bitch ass nigga. Like, I would never even engage in a conversation. It can't even start. Like, because in real life, if we talking, we're going to come to hands or we're going to start shooting each other ASAP. There ain't going to be no conversation.
Well, I don't walk around calling people educated lames.
No. But your position is you niggas is not getting pussy because y'all lame and all this other shit. So as soon as you start,
that's actually not my position, but I know what you're talking about.
But you saying it. So there's only one way to interpret that. You niggas ain't getting it. So this is I'm getting it. You not. I'm better than you. This is where we gonna start. No, as soon as you start, there ain't no conversation. Period. Okay. It's like, assume that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm assuming that you know what the fuck you talking about, and then we can have a conversation. If it don't start there, it's not gonna even begin.
That's fine with me, because I don't know what these men are doing.
We agree that this space is not about about men being mad they can't get the women that they want.
You can forget about that. Yes, it is. You should. Okay, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Prove it. You go look at all the conversations, everything that's been said over the last fucking decade in the manosphere. Look at the show topics. Look at the shit everybody talk about. I've been here for a long time. So you go get me some evidence where over years of accumulated videos and talks where niggas is not focused on that. Niggas is not fucking the women that they want, or they wouldn't be here.
Right. The main sentiment of all those videos has been simply that the family has degraded because the behavior of women has declined in such a way that it makes relationships between black men and black women very strenuous. And now we're to a point where men are even walking away with the SYSBM. It's not about them not being able to get women. It's about the behavior of women that's declined and how it's negatively impacted the black community.
Yeah, all of those factors, bro. Like all of those are factors. Like what you're saying is not wrong, but again, it's one of those things where yes, that counts as well. Those are factors.
That brother is right. I agree with that 100%.
So, but wait, you're painting it. But wait,
brother, John. All right. So the Gold Eagle. I said, Jessica, let me mute you because you're on the phone. All right. So I have a super chat. I appreciate you, Gold Eagle. It says, I said Zero and Game Changer only should have handled that. Okay, I appreciate you a lot, love. All right. And
I disagree with that. I could have took care of him. He was very light, but I kept getting stepped on, so I backed up. But I did make some points. But as far as a white supremacist, he's a young, misguided white man or man. He's just young.
Well, we're back on that. We're back on that topic. I'm gonna touch on what she said, so you and Zero can really talk about have a serious conversation that Zero's been angling for quite some time. I'm gonna read this one. And then I'm going to address what she said, and then we'll move forward. So Larry Mallory, it says Platinum was actually debunking the white guy. Okay, so think of it like volleyball. If everybody goes for the ball at the same time, you are going to bump heads, and you're going to lose that point. It has to be designated, and it has to be order and structure in order for the game to be won. So let's just look at situations like that different. No matter who says she does it, perhaps one person it would have worked better if one person at a time handled it. Yeah, that's the best way to put that. All right, go for it, fellas.
My channel is about the development of men and what it is to be a man. Now, my opinion is that part of being a man, you have to know how to understand women. Period. Now, people who don't understand them, right? Hey, that's them. They are problematic for some men. For some men, they're not. For some men, they have to put them. They got to block them. They have to get away from them. Now, my channel's not about no marriage. It don't even stretch that far. If that's what you're trying to do, at that point when you headed down that altar to throw rice, there's really nothing on my channel that can help anybody because I don't even get into that.
Well, Platinum, would you agree that women are secondary to men? Like women are not a goal; they're secondary to what men are already doing.
I would say for some men they're not a goal, but I think that for some men, if there is a lack, if you're finding yourself without them for an extended period of time, you do need to achieve that goal. You do need to, just like you guys are saying. Go overseas. You know what I'm saying? Why are you going overseas?
So wait a minute, Platinum. You just
no. Hold on. Let me clarify what I said. I'm saying women are not a man's goal. A man's goal is to be successful, whatever he's doing, whatever his goals are in life. But his goal is not wrapped up in betting women, getting women at all. You're saying if a man goes without a woman for an extended period of time, he should begin seeking out a woman?
That tends to be what they do, right?
No, that's not.
No. Okay.
That's the whole.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know any man whose goal is to get bitches. I don't know any man, but this is my goal. I don't know him. I don't know where they exist. I've never met a guy who says, "So what you doing today, man? I just want to get at these bitches, man." I ain't never no niggas say that. That's like
two different things.
Platinum. Just first of all, I appreciate you, Paul Blunt. Honorable, I think something's up with you, but as far as your mic, okay, you muted. All right. So I do recall you saying that if you went to Florida with 4 guys, the one that didn't get pussy is a bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, amongst the women. These wait a minute.
No, this is amongst the men. You said that the other guys would get together and call him a bitch.
Can I respond?
Go for it.
This would be amongst the men that I travel, the circle I travel in. Within that circle, that's just a motivational tactic.
I understand that, but you also just said that that we don't get together and make our goal bitches. There's nobody in my circle whose goal it is to get.
If we're in Florida enjoying the Florida sun, and we all wind up with women, and one of us doesn't, within that circle of men, which he can take, he will be made fun of on the way back home. We'll make fun of him, but it's no big deal. He'll probably go home to a bitch. I'm just saying, it's no big deal.
Quick question, Platinum. I just want to know. You said your platform is about teaching masculinity and so forth. What would be your qualifier to teach other men masculinity?
I'm a man. I'm well researched in the development of men, and I understand the dynamics of men. So I mean that's it.
So can I ask a question?
So you understand anthropology?
So based on that, if you're well researched in men, Platinum, aren't you aware of the fact that, as I think GameChanger just put it out there, some men have more loftier goals and more sustainable goals that don't include women? So wouldn't you understand that? Like,
hey, we live and we learn, bro. So you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you.
What you say on your channel?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I said the circle I hang in. If your goal is to live your life minus females, nobody who's gonna stop you. Who's stopping you?
But it's making fun of a man. But it's making fun of men. It's making fun of men who have other goals besides focusing on women.
I'm gonna say this again.
Hold on.
You keep saying focus. Look, if your goal in life is to exist minus females, who is stopping you?
Nobody.
You're a free man.
I'm gonna get this out. I ain't gonna let you run. But if other men who focus on other things besides females in terms of their goals and movement in life, if they focus on other things, how are you living up to your own standard that you just said out of your own mouth?
Your question makes no sense.
Hold on.
In the question you imply, you keep implying that there's some focus on women. There's no focus on women.
No, sir. You said you're building men, and then in the next sentence you turn around and say the same guy who probably isn't dealing with women or isn't focused on women on a Florida trip.
Okay. Look, let's listen to me. If we go to Miami on a vacation and he comes out flat, I will make fun of him on the way home. He'll go home to his woman.
What if he comes out rich? You haven't built him. You've made fun of him. You contradicted yourself.
He doesn't have a problem. Women, I've done it before. He doesn't have a problem with that. If it happens again to somebody else, maybe he scores. We're in Chicago and somebody else comes out flat. We make fun of the guy. What's the big deal? It's in the circle. It has nothing to do. Hold up. It has nothing to do with you and your pursuit of higher things, like you just said.
But you're not building him. You're tearing him down.
But he's right. According to his standard, he's saying that that's the way that he builds. So I just wanted to ask him, so what are some of the references? Because you said you are well referenced in the building of masculinity. What are some of the references
they will be applied to the content? The channel is being built. It's content added all the time. I'll leave a reference. I'll email you a reference. A lot of my material is coming from different sources. And I'm not necessarily, it's a lot of it. It's what is that?
It's well researched.
So okay, let's put it like this. Do you feel that
a lot of it does have opinion in it, because when you're talking about something that's malleable, a man's the way he manifests himself, the way he grows and learns, it's going to come from my own experiences. So some of it's going to be opinion. So it's not always going to be reference
but it's going to be some references in there. If I use other work, I'll reference it.
Okay, fair enough. Do you feel that men who are not as adept at getting pussy than other men are less manly?
I don't think that is an assessment for me to make. I think that assessment will be made by the females.
So do you think that women determines how manly a man is?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they do in the sense that they make that decision.
Do men determine how feminine a woman is?
Excuse me?
Do men determine how valuable a woman is?
Yes, men do.
Okay.
We do that, especially here. We do it all the time here.
Well, I think
that bitch ain't feminine enough. We do it all the time.
Yeah, I think that men determine how valuable a woman is to a man.
No, you said valuable. I said feminine.
No, we don't. We do not.
Femininity.
They do that all the time here. Those bitches ain't feminine enough. I hear that all the time.
He's right.
Who builds society? Who gets to dictate this?
This is fictitious YouTube. This doesn't count for real.
Oh my God.
No,
look,
it's about to go left.
Okay.
Actually, it won't, man. Look, at the end of the day,
it seems like the way is paid for the conversation, the honest conversation that you wanted to have so often, because he's not going to bring up the things, talking from a position of superiority anymore. So I think now you're primed for the conversation you were looking to have. But before that, thank you for your super chat.
Platinum is right. Hold up. Someone said I'm soft. No, I'm not.
No, Platinum is right.
Zero. Thank you for that.
When we talk about, for example, these panels talking about black women and how somehow they get irate and somehow we do talk about how somewhat aggressive they are and how the lack of femininity they do have. Platinum is right. He is right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I've heard it numerous times.
Well, there's one thing that, and I hope Platinum
society. Why don't we look at the fucking
that Platinum? Like, I'm not coming at you. I actually like what you're doing. Seriously, people can joke about all they want, but I seriously love what you do. I like how you define certain things because it works in a vernacular that I don't have a lot of knowledge on. I actually take some notes on things that you say. Like, there's one definition that I want to get more understanding of. Could you give me a more clear understanding? You explain it to me like I'm a fourth grader. When you say bitch broke.
It actually has it's a broad definition because it okay, I'll give you a good example. Dwayne Wade, the basketball player who's got $100 million and he's married to Gabrielle Union. He's bitch broken. He's bitch broken. I've looked at pictures. She's standing behind him. She has him almost like in a headlock. We could make a conversation about that young boy who's now a woman and how much influence she has on that. She's a feminist. She runs the house, yet he's what, $100 million. And she does what she wants, and she talks crazy. He's bitch broken.
So do you plan to make like multiple videos about this to kind of explain it?
Bitch broken doesn't necessarily mean your absence of a female. Bitch broken men who have been bitch broken. Now, look, I'm unfortunately people take, I'm sorry, man. I can only, like you said, I can give you about a fourth grade understanding of of the game or whatever. You guys are all smart and stuff. I'm the dumb guy. These dudes are bitch broken. Okay, letting your woman come in and take over your household, letting your woman give you rules. You make more money than she does, and she can do everything that men used to do. She can have the dinner parties like the men used to have a little cigar night. Women can come, all these meetings in your house. You're literally serving them on some equal shit. You're bringing out tea and cookies for the women and women. Oh, look, he's such a good husband. Look at him. That he's bitch broken.
So I have a question. I have a question.
No, hold on. The bitch broke thing just means whipped. But to Zero's point, after I guess he discusses platinum or whatever that conversation is going to be, I do want to see if we can come to some kind of consensus about why this space, but how this space is not about men being sad or broken that they can't get women.
Platinum, I was with you up until the moment you started saying certain things like bringing cookies and that. I've never brought a woman cookies. However, I do understand if a man did, that could be considered in some form of way being romantic. Are we now trying to say a man that's being romantic would say wife or whatever?
He just means being
Like somebody's playing a piano on their channel. I can't hear nothing.
Hold on. Who is that?
I don't know.
Okay,
It's not me. I'm mute.
Okay.
I'm muted as
just
well.
means whipped. That's all. It just means you're whipped. And your girl whipped.
No.
That's it.
We need to start. So basically, you can't just blanket statement it like that, because then what's romantic? Is romantic whipped? Like
the guy down. Hold up, the guy with the
what is
his,
that?
his avatar is like a Malcolm, like a hat. I think, I don't know. Right by the moon, the star, and Melody. Okay, he cut it. Okay, go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah, we need to be careful when we try and blanket statement. Like, what did he say? Bitch made men, and then you put enough examples. What was the term? What was the term?
Bitch broken.
Bitch broken. We need to be specific, because if you didn't just you started reeling off a few things, and I was with you up until that moment.
Can you ride a horse? You ever seen a horse? You have to catch
on a horse.
You got to catch it, right? Wait a minute, and then you got to put, they ride it, and then they ride it, so the horse just fucking quits. He says, "Fuck it."
Hey, Platinum.
Fuck it. No, he gets broken in. They break him in.
No. But the question, what I'm saying is,
men who allow women to dominate them, run their household, are bitch broken men.
You named specific things though about a man catering to a woman.
Yeah.
Now, are we basic? But a lot of those things can be considered as romantic. I've never done those specific things you mentioned.
Not even romantic. Like,
let's not personalize it. I think we all kind of get what he's talking about.
Wait, can I ask a question?
If you went specific like that.
So what if my woman is in my house and she's having these meetings, she's having those lady nights, but these lady nights, those meetings in our house is helping my woman to continue to contribute to what we have in terms of being productive and successful. And so suppose I do come out and I bring some drinks. Suppose I do come out, I throw some steaks on or some shish kebabs on, and I come and serve the ladies out of respect for my woman, because she's successful. And so what me helping her do her thing while she's in her house with her peoples is helping. Is that also being bitch broken if I'm helping to contribute to the success of my woman?
It depends on how much control you have in the household, but if you're asking me just from what you said, I would say, yeah, you're bitch
bringing
broken.
a woman breakfast in bed. Is that bitch broken?
I would say, yeah, that's bitch broken. Yeah, if you're bringing her breakfast.
Yeah.
If you're bringing her breakfast.
Come on, man. We know what he's talking about. If you're not able to alpha your situation, then you bitch broken. It's simple shit, man. We ain't even got to go into the nuance of it.
And even in your description of it, you use the word "sir." That kind of shows right there that
he's not saying that.
Bro, he's saying if you're not able to alpha your shit, then you bitch broken.
Nah,
if you're doing simp level shit for a woman, you bitch broken. We get it. Like we get it. Let's move past this fucking word, man.
It's too vague. Yeah, it's too vague.
It is vague, but we understand what it means. Let's just move past. It's just like if somebody say monkey dancing, we know what the fuck that means. We don't have to go into specifics. We know what it means.
Yeah, without playing semantics, I think. No matter what, it's a shaming term. It's a shaming term that's used on men who are not down with your particular program. Is that a safe assessment, Platinum?
No, it's not meant to shame. It just we don't do that on my space. No, we like men. I mean, hold up, I'm a man now. I cannot turn around and say I'm for men not being men. I'm for men. I'm macho. I'm a pro man. I like masculinity. I'm not down with feminism.
You can't be ashamed, but then you can't be afraid to say, yeah, you shaming, because you are. I mean, men are supposed to shame men. This is how societies get built. That's how cooperation is fostered. All of these value systems that we have, like justice and your fucking machismo and everything else, men have to create all of that. The reason why men define.
I don't think
the
it's
reason
shaming.
why.
I think what Platinum was saying is that he's just telling them the reality of the situation.
I understand that.
Zero. What he's saying is right. Zero, you're right. No, that is a part of being a man, though.
Supposed to do this is how fucking societies are built. Like the reason why when y'all talking about femininity, the reason why men define femininity is because we created the society. The reason why men decide who's masculine is because we created the society. Like women don't get to dictate that because they don't build shit. That's why.
If you grew up on a farm with 5 brothers and you couldn't ride a horse, you were ashamed.
Yeah.
Period.
So we can move past that. We need to stop. Like, yeah, man. If you shame me, you shame me. It doesn't matter. No, there are certain levels of the shit that don't make sense, but still,
it was to motivate you. I'm saying you had young boys who they wanted to ride like their brothers, so they were motivated. It wasn't shaming to make them go cry in the corner and go jump off the roof. It was I'm gonna have to work. I can't wait till I'm bigger, and and it was a certain age. Once they hit that age though, and they weren't doing it, then it was a problem.
Right.
And I absolutely agree with you, Platinum. That's why in a lot of situations that I come across in different places, not all, but some, I like to just yell out, "You're stupid," because I want them to be motivated to grow into a more educated person. So when I say you're a dumbass idiot, I'm actually trying to help them to grow.
That don't even make any sense. When I'm just
okay, but look, the reason why shame works is because you gotta understand like the anthropology behind it, right? So the reason why we have justice and all the rest of it is because men have fucking male dominance. So we compete over everything. Doesn't matter what it is, we compete over it. So men weaponize this. So in order to create a system of justice, the men have to compete over things that they dictate as just. So like in order to constitute marriage, men have to compete over like being the best husband or being the best like for instance when samurai kill themselves and shit like that. You have to create a system around that where men compete over honor. Again, because men compete over everything. They want to be better than you at whatever it is. So this is why we create these systems, and this is why shame works. The only way cooperation works, the only way you can even build a society is for men to do this to each other. You have to create those value systems, or else you don't have an investment in the society. And if men don't have an investment in the society and they can do everything themselves, like hunt, fish, and all the rest of that shit, they're just gonna bail out of it. You don't have a society when men are just like, well, I can do this shit on my own. There has to be a system of shame and fucking.
I was with you, Zero, but I believe now because of this system, what you're talking about, that has been built, it's now made all these snowflake and weird people who are now doing all this mad stuff on the backset of what's already been made.
Wait, what kind of mad stuff?
Yeah, that brother
like
with
the LBGT, and I don't even want to sound offensive, but like like all those non-gender people and all these people that now say they're a man today and then a woman on Tuesday, and now do you know what I mean? We now have to refer to men as women and just pretend like they were women from being born and stuff. That's only been able to be done now because of what Zero was talking about. It because the foundation has already been set for these people to come do the fuck shit. So that's the only reason why this weird stuff is able to do it now, because if the foundations were gone, what Zero was saying, all this other LGBT stuff wouldn't last. Nothing would be run properly.
Well, be honest with you, everything that I'll be talking about comes from anthropological research and books and medical journals and shit like that. When I talk about like how people behave, all of this stuff comes from the already done shit. I'm not reinventing the wheel. Nothing I'm saying is original. I'm just parroting what's already been researched and what's already been done by fucking people smarter than me and people who lived before me and that already did it. It's just the thing is these systems are in place for a reason. In the absence of these systems, all men do is fight over pussy because it's the only way to replicate yourself. like women are the gateway to kids, and you can't have a society without kids. I mean, I try to bottom line this shit because that's really what we're looking at. So, that's all it comes down to. If men can't divide pussy up, This is what we fight about. This is why when I talk about like the manosphere being about this shit, it is like, and I'm not pulling out of my ass because you can go back and look at the videos previously. Like if you look at what GameChanger is doing, he's trying to get men to basically take ownership of their fucking masculinity and do the right thing as far as cooperation with each other and get on the same page. His channel is literally about that. That's why I fucks with him. And you have to attack the shit from all angles. I attack it from a top-down policy issue with feminism because you can't do anything about, like, it's out of your control. And if you don't have the information, you're gonna walk around thinking you can alpha your way out of it, and you fucking can't.
No, this space is about the breakdown of relationships between black people. It's not about these guys in the sector are still fucking bitches. That's not even the guys that quote unquote get called incels.
Saying that shit, it's not true.
What, they're fucking bitches? Oh, they're fucking bitches. Which one?
No, they fucking bitches, but they keep leaving out that they are bitches that they want.
They are bitches, or they sleeping with bitches.
The dude down here with the Malcolm X, yeah, he's just going crazy with the whatever. He's moving furniture, some shit.
He probably recording a stream or some shit. They're not fucking the bitches that they want, or they would not be here. It's really simple, man.
No, that is not true.
That's not
They're
true.
here because it's a collective of men discussing the black issues, and that happens to be one of them, the breakdown of relationships in the black community.
These dudes are not in relationships with the women that they want to be in relationships with, or they would not be here.
What you mean collective? You don't mean all, right?
A little bit of both. I think what y'all talking about. I think what y'all hearing when Zero says women that they don't want to be with. I think that y'all talking about looks. But no, like black men aren't getting submissive women because there aren't enough submissive black women for all the black men that want them. Now, whether the man individually has one or several is not the point. This space is created for those who don't, because we know that that these women don't exist in high numbers, or else we would have communities full of them. So there could be a man out there with the most submissive woman in the world but he's alone. He's without a community. So that's what we have to get back together. It's a community thing, and shame is not going to get that in line. And no matter how alpha you are, if a chick isn't going to submit, she's not going to submit.
You don't believe we should bring shame back?
I don't think that it should be used on. I don't think it should be used for sexual conquest, and here's why.
All right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But no, I do agree that we should be able to shame people, but I don't think that it should be used on a man's sexual conquest, because the truth of the matter is, and this is why Platinum, you get pushback from this space in particular, and from people like me and Zero, is because what we are attempting to do requires abstaining for certain men, period. It requires certain men just looking at a woman and say, bitch, you're not good enough for this dick. It does. And I don't want to hear shit from you. If I go to Florida and I tell 10 fat ass bitches you can't have this dick, and I don't want to hear shit from you saying you didn't get no pussy, like, damn right I didn't get no pussy. You know? Like, so that's where.
Yeah, but see, GameChanger, now you're jumping way ahead of yourself, because this is YouTube. It's a billion people on here. As far as what you do in Florida with the people you hang out with, I mean, that's the circle you run in. But that's the people I run with. It's not like that. It's a motivational tactic, and it's fun. It's justing. It's fun. It's almost like a little college, frat guys, just having fun.
Answer me this.
Frat boy humor. That's all it is. Frat boy humor. When you and MOT came over there, we had fun. I had fun. We don't agree. We don't agree on a lot of stuff. Well, it didn't sink into that. Nobody's shaming you ain't shit. No, nobody does that. So that's what I'm saying. When I make my attacks are launched at fucking Dwayne Wade. The man's a fucking 100. You think he gives a fuck what I think? But I use him as an example because I can make my point through him.
Okay, well, let's do like this then, brother. Do you shame? Would you shame a brother who went to Florida and bought back a fat woman or a unfeminine woman?
Well, I probably wouldn't know if she was feminine or not, but a fat woman, nah, not necessarily. If that's what he wants.
He's probably just doing that so you guys don't shit on him.
No, he's not. Well, if he does, then that's a whole different. If he's living his life based on what I think, then he's not a man. I mean, that's a part. Look, when I make my point, when I make my point about the 5 brothers, they're brothers. There's a connection there. So the motivation or what they're doing, because he can't ride because he's either too young and he's falling off, and he wants to be old. I don't know if you guys have siblings, but that actually happens. Whether it's basketball, something like that. As he grows, he gets better. He might wind up riding quicker and be better than all of his brothers because of their motivation. This is YouTube, where you could be 500 pounds and put up a channel and no one can say anything about that. And you can eat crab legs and have 1 million followers and no one can mention the fact that you're obese. They've created that. That's not good for men. Men need to be criticized. They need to be held accountable. That's why they have rites of passages. That was why at certain ages, the men had to do things where they put you in a cave for a day. You know what I'm saying? You had to do certain things. Okay, now you got to go get this type of animal. You got to kill it. Here's a sharp stick. Now go and kill this wolf. And bring him back. You get 24 hours to do it. You had to do. The men who couldn't do that, those were not men. They were allowed to live in the tribe, but they were not allowed to mate, and they were not considered men.
Okay, let's go with that.
A lot of them men wind up.
Okay, let's go with that for a second. What would be your? And I'll ask everybody this to be fair. What would be your rites of passage? Were you, the emperor of Black people?
Well,
what would be your rites of passage for young men?
Well, you can't really hit me with that question because I haven't. I'm in the process of putting together a book, so I have to. Sort of like have all my points and shit together. It's sort of like the white guy coming up here with all of his shit in front of him, screaming out, his points and positions. When people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" We're not talking. So no, I would say that there needs to be one. But once again, my conversation is toward, not for. See, look, one thing we have to deal with. We also have free will. We're also citizens. Now, I love my freedom. See, that's what I'm saying. That's where I run into a lot of problems because. A lot of times when people start talking, they start talking that tribalism, and that's why with the racism we was talking about him. He's wrong. He's living off the accomplishments of other people. See, I don't live off the accomplishments of other Black men. I'm talking about me, and I'm free. So whatever I compile, that would be what my solutions would be. But it's not going to be directed at the Black community, like that because I'm not here to preach to them. I'm not a preacher.
That's exactly what a content creator is. You are preaching to people. Though it's not religious dogma, you are preaching to people. That's exactly what you're doing.
That's what I'm a preacher. I didn't know that.
You're evangelizing your perspective.
Right.
Okay.
So, and as such, you are creating okay, I'll put it like this. You said that if a man pays for pussy, he can't hang around me. So he's not a member of your tribe. So you do believe that a person who pays for pussy is not passing the rites of passage of masculinity.
A man who's a trick would have issues with me as far as me and him really being able to get to know each other. Because that's not my thing.
He probably like he pays, you don't, and that's that.
No, wait a minute. Now tricks do serve a purpose. So I'm not against them. But it's just not.
You wouldn't allow them in your service. They serve a purpose.
Wait a minute. I've worked with men who are tricks. I know men who walk up and tell me they looking to buy something. They be like, "Man, I'm looking for a hole to buy." They looking to do this and do that. They looking for it. They want to know where the hole's at. They want to know where the HOEs on the concrete at. They ready. They want to do this and that.
You sure that's not a gold platinum? Oh,
well, that's what he wants. That's what he wants. If I know where they are,
you said before you never heard a person say.
I said I know men who know they want to know what street they can go do A, B, and C, D on. That's what I'm saying.
Well, look at what you said before. You've never heard a person that said, "What are you doing today? I'm looking to get these holes." You just said it there.
Well, he wants to have sex. I'm saying he didn't base his life off sex.
Melody, did you send you said
Look, bro.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
Fellas, right quick. Melody, what were you saying? You sent me a message, but you said put yours on. Did you send me a super chat?
These niggas
Because it says put. I don't want to miss any, but I don't see it. So, Melody, you there? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was talking to myself. Yeah, it failed. I was trying to send you a super chat, but it failed. I'm sending it now.
It won't let me put a message in the chat. I mean, in the super chat. What
For
is
some
that?
reason, super chat is messing up for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't super chat either.
Yeah. So I sent the because my super chat wasn't working at Bernard's shit, and so I sent the sticker just to test it out. And then niggas was saying like you sent the gay ass. I didn't even look at the sticker. I was just seeing if the shit worked.
I remember that. I remember thinking that was a bit fruity. I just didn't say anything.
That's funny.
I don't even know what sticker it was. I was just like, damn, how come the super chat not working?
It was like a twerker or something.
Oh, is that what it is?
It won't let me send anything except the money. That's it. If I put hello, good morning, it won't go.
Same here. Yep.
Well, let me put the cash app. I appreciate the sentiment, Melody and everybody else. But let me put the cash app in the thing. Zone, could you put the cash app in the chat room too? But let me do that right now.
I'm gonna do it again. Let me try again.
Okay. Maybe it's after 2 hours. They just like cut it off.
No, that don't make any sense.
I don't, but Google's funny lately.
Look, part of being a man though, you have to, I don't believe that men should be in love. I don't think men should be emotional. I think those traits have been picked. I think that today's men are not men. I think it's rare that you find the essence of a man, a true man. And then you have guys who claim, well, that's a warrior, and warriors are idiots, and they're not the leaders.
Who the hell said that?
No, I'm just saying. No, just push back what they're trying to justify these current type men. They make these statements that I'm speaking only of warriors. That's the guy with the
Jai, is that you or Ji?
I think it is.
What is it that y'all hear?
You need to mute him.
You got it's underwater. It's some kind of strange going on, bro.
Did you get that one or no?
I see your one. There's a picture.
Oh, you see it? Okay.
So you can only do
so
stickers.
Weird. Yeah.
But I sent a super chat earlier and I spoke.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It might be a 2 hour thing. Like maybe it just cuts off after 2 hours. Who knows?
So
Which
weird.
will suck. Or like
Let me try.
We'll do long ones.
Okay, this guy who's the mayor of New York, de Blasio, is that him?
I don't know.
De Blasio.
Do you still hear that underwater thing?
Now you're echoing.
God damn it! Hold up.
I could look it up. The mayor of New York, the de Blasio guy. This is a prime example. I like this guy's not a man.
The super chat worked for me.
You sent
So
another
it
one?
Yeah, so it might just be for some
Really?
people. Because it works for some and not for others. So I don't know what the issue is.
Oh. Well, I didn't block anybody from sending me money, so that's not on me. I appreciate the $4.99 Melody. I appreciate the super sticker. And let me look for your super chat.
Hey, Jessica's.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bill Blasio. Bill de Blasio. Yeah, the guy's a male. He's not a man. There's certain ways men just look. This whole live to be 95. And I hope everybody does. But that thing has nothing to do with being a man. Men died when men could not be men. They died because that was their purpose, to be men. They weren't here to live to be 95. That's the whole saying: a coward dies a thousand deaths. A man dies once.
To be 195. Don't wish shit on me. What the fuck?
That's my point. I'm saying you can be 205 if you want to enjoy yourself, but I'm just saying
I will. Thank you.
There's certain levels that men had to achieve to be men, and you got guys now who play Xbox all day, guys now who keep the kids, guys now who whatever the woman says. The feminine, I know, women have a lot of rights, way more power. So they get in these relationships or these marriages where they're just like they're the help. The woman just needs them only for certain things. Other than that, they put the nigga back in the closet. They don't even need it. It's like a vacuum cleaner.
I want to agree with Platinum, and one caveat is this: the reason why, I have groups of friends like this where we all can get girls. But we used to have a joke. We'd say when we hang out with kids, they can hunt their own kill, which means they can go out and without any of us there, they can get a girl to get with them, right? The reason why you want that is because if you're out with a group of guys and all other guys are getting girls and one guy isn't, he destroys the party, he gets resentful, and he gets jealous. And jealousy leads to hate and also other crap you don't want to deal with. So when you have a group of friends that are manly, doesn't matter what they look like. I don't care if they're fat, skinny, whatever. We used to make a joke that can they spit their game? Can they hunt somebody? Can they hunt their own kill? If they can, that's great, because if you end up at a bar, you get another party, another situation, they can adapt and have a good time. So you can go talk to this girl, he can talk to whatever girl, and it's no hate, there's no jealousy. It's just like, get yours, I'll get mine. Then you wingman. If the guy can't, resentful, jealous, hating on you while you're talking to the girl, that causes other conflicts, and that leads to more and more jealousy. That's why, for me, I don't hang out with most people, men that aren't raised by men or did fraternity or military, something where they had to prove their manhood to a group. They're way better to deal with 100% overall by Kappa, because you can actually build with them. But dudes that are jealous, it's scary because you have a jealous dude like a chick with the aggression of a man, and they will use that aggression towards you. So I agree with Platinum, 100%.
I've been in that situation where it was three of us, and the one guy, he didn't have anybody, right? So the next night, the two that we got bought another girl, but this was the trip. The guy was such a fucking loser, right? She didn't want him. She fucked with us. So she joined us, and he still didn't get pussy. And the guy wound up, he was pissed, like he said, he got pissed. He was pissed off because oh fuck, man, he wanted to fuck one of the women that we were with. They didn't want to fuck him. One of them brought another girl. She didn't bring him for him though. I'm saying she brought him, and it was, assumed that maybe he could, he could win her affections. She didn't like him, so she wound up fucking with us, and he still didn't get pussy. And I'm saying that shit. And he was bitter. He was fucking mad. He was an asshole, and we didn't fuck with him no more. So that's not our fault. That's his fault,
or it's their fault. But okay. So thank you, Jessica and Melody. Thank you, Jessica, for the $1.99 pounds, and thank you, Melody, for the $1.99 dollars. I appreciate you. Okay, so Zone, no, it's
Tyrone sent one.
Sorry,
Tyrone sent one.
Oh
crap. Okay, let me look for that.
Real quick, thanks for having me, Game Changer. I'm gonna go pick up my kid.
Okay, I'm gonna close down in 4 minutes anyway. Okay, so go ahead. You were gonna say something, Melody?
No, I was saying I can see Tyrone's. Tyrone said something.
Okay, let me look for it. It's not showing up like
But it has to be $6 or over. So
yeah. No, that's what Zone said, but she didn't do $1.99 before. She tried with more. So I know what she's doing, and yeah, that happened to me too. So J.I. says, Tyrone says, let's see, good show. Get those likes up. I appreciate you, brother.
Earlier, I tried with 20. Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
Because you put the super sticker instead, isn't it? In the beginning of the show, I remember on the rocket thing.
It don't work. So weird.
Yeah, you're having the problem I have on some people's. Like I tried to do it on Danika's, and I tried to do it on.
GC, you trick him.
I tried to do it on. I mean, do I send one to yours?
That's his crush.
No, she was a runner.
No, the Irish one is meant to be
the crush. The black woman who's an Irish dancer is the official crush, but she was a very close second, Danica.
You see, Danika's cute, but that tattoo on her chest.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, yeah.
Oh, it just ruins it.
Danica got body for days.
She needs to get that lasered off.
Her Well, that's
Envy
part
is
of her
real.
thing.
She needs to laser it off.
I listened to her channel. That's part of her thing. She calls people crown heads. So maybe that's, like.
That's it. Yeah.
That chick with that big old crown in her chest?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no. Yeah, that crown is horrible. Hey,
Yeah.
is my volume better now?
Yeah, you're a lot better, bro.
All right, good. Hey, Platinum, would you agree that the problems, issues in the black community, to start fixing them, we'd have to fix the black family?
Well, when you ask me that, I have to say that we don't really have a community. I mean, like we have places where black people live, but in most cases they don't even own those homes. They're renters. If you're talking about projects, they don't own the projects. They don't own stores, retail. Most of those stores are, you got Chinese chicken places, and so when you say black community, it's not really that. So
okay, well, do you agree that to start fixing the black dynamic, since you don't want to call it a community, it has to start with fixing the black family?
I would have to say that you would have to go with maybe churches, but black people, the ones that go to church, I think you could probably reach them within the church aspect for family. So I would agree with that from church, because most black people don't go to church.
Do you think that it's a problem that the out of wedlock birth rate is so high?
I think that when you start making statements like that, you start hedging on people's freedom. Wait a minute, you start hedging on people's freedoms, and I want to have a realistic conversation, and I'm not going to sit. That's when you start talking. You're suggesting I can tell someone what to do.
It's a question, not a statement.
I'm
asking a question.
Yeah,
I would say that I don't have enough information about it to make an informed opinion.
Okay, platinum. Over 70% of kids in the black community right now are had outside of wedlock. Do you believe that that's a problem, or do you think that that's okay?
I just don't. I haven't really researched it.
I
heard what you said. I mean, if you say what you say, if I go by just if I take what you just said and base my opinion on, I agree with you based on what you just said.
Okay, so that's a problem, or it's okay? Which one?
Okay, now you're saying, do I have a problem with it?
No, I'm asking your opinion. Over 70% of black children right now are born outside of wedlock. In your opinion,
now you're talking to someone who doesn't. I don't support marriage. Though. I don't agree with marriage.
So then you believe that that's okay? That's all.
No, I don't support. No, because see, look, when you start saying those things, A, it's a freedom thing, and 2, I don't support marriage. You don't know why those people aren't married, because they might not want to be married.
But
there's this assumption. Hold up, there's this assumption that the woman is having the baby. The man, they didn't want to get married. They could both very well have 4 or 5 kids and not want to be married. That doesn't mean they're not going to be there to take care of those children.
So in your opinion, it's okay. All right. Because of all those reasons that you just stated.
Marriage is down, though. Isn't marriage across the board down? And if you look, white women have spiked as far as out of having single parents and stuff like. It's spiked for white women because a lot of people don't agree with marriage.
Yes, marriage is okay. Let me ask you this: do you believe that children do better? Because I'm not trying to trap you. I'm trying to just ask a general question. Do you believe that children do better in 2-parent households? Yes or no?
Do you want me to answer the question, or you want me to obfuscate?
I want you to answer the question. Do you believe?
Yeah, sure, of course. Because I could say, it depends on the parents, but go ahead, man.
Okay, so if children do better in 2-parent households, we agree on that. Can we agree that we need to have more 2-parent households in the black community? We won't even put marriage the label on it, but just more 2-parent households.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be there for your children. I agree with you.
Okay, so in this sphere or whatever, most of it is about the lack or the breakdown between black men and black women. So, in your opinion, do you believe that this breakdown is because men are not men anymore?
No, I don't believe that. I think I think that we certainly don't have real men, but I don't think it has anything to do with I just wouldn't look at the black community as to define that. I'd say across the board.
Well, we're just focused on the black because we're black people. So I'm just keeping it about black people.
We need more men. We need more young boys to be men, real men. We need that. Yes.
So more men being real men, according to your definition, will help fix the 2-parent household in the Black community.
It would help as far as raising children. Yeah. Which you don't have to be with that woman, but I'm just saying as far as their responsibilities to the children, yeah, it would help.
Okay. All right. That's all I was asking, just to see where we're at, because we can't. If we have things like SYSBM, I've heard you call them incels and stuff like that, and make all that, which is cool, whatever. If we
Nah, that
can't get
wasn't
to a,
me. No, that I know what you're saying. I was on different spaces, and that wasn't me. But go ahead.
okay, well, then my bad. But if we can't get to a place where we can have more 2-parent households in the Black community for the children, do you agree that we will never be able to fix these issues that the Black community has?
I personally think that Black people need to individually fix the problems they face from an individual standpoint. And I think this problem would solve itself. I think when we start talking, because you got to understand, I'm in the Bible Belt. I'm in church heaven down here. I'm in church right now, to be honest with you. Churches all over the place here.
Right.
When you start preaching, it's good to say it, but you gotta practice it, not preach it. So I think if you just fix what's broken within your spirit, if you have kids that you ain't seen in years, you sleeping with women and stuff like that, having children with them, and it's creating a problem. If you just fix that problem, just the people you can control, I think that would actually solve the problem way better than guys coming on YouTube making these preachy ass fucking messages that sound great, but nobody practices.
Okay, let me read the super chats, then I'm gonna do final thoughts. So Latrell, appreciate the $5. You say great show. Thanks, I agree. Great show. I appreciate the panelists. I appreciate everybody for coming. All right. There was another one. You again. Appreciate the $20, brother. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Lat Real. Is it Lat Real or Latrell? Probably Latrell. Appreciate you, brother. Okay. Or Trill. All right, and let me see if I have any more. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do closing thoughts. Let's start with Platinum and end with Melody. Go for it, Plat.
All right, man. Look, hey, came on with fantastic. You switched the stream, came on with you or whatever. Appreciate you, the hospitality. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. All right, Jessica, are you gonna open something up or
what? Open up a stream?
I know it's late where you're at, so I don't know. I just don't closing this down.
I doubt it. I don't have anything to talk about.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming.
All right, see ya.
See you. Okay.
Bye.
So is it JI?
Yeah, it's JI.
Okay.
Yeah, final thoughts. Just my main thing is, no, I do not believe the Black manosphere is not about men complaining because they can't get the women they want. That's not what it's about. There are plenty of successful men here that have the type of women they want. Even SYSBM, they go and get the woman that they want or whatever. And there's plenty of married men or men with a woman that are still speaking about it. We're speaking about it because it's an issue in the Black community and we're Black people. But that's it. Thanks for having me, Game Changer. Hey, mod me up if you can. Wrench me up.
Yeah, my bad. Zone, could you take care of that for me, please, brother? Just type something in the chat. Got you. All right, and Melody.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Great show. And talk to you later.
Okay. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'd like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. I'd like to thank the managers and moderators. I'd like to thank those listening in the background and those who are sending messages. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. This is GameChanger 00100, and I'm gone. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.